And good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I'm Kirk Williamson, coming to you from Tri-Cities Coliseum, where tonight the Tri-City Americans have a must-win game. Actually, the last 24 games or so are all must-win games, but especially the games at home, especially the games in the Western Division. Tonight, it's the Portland Winterhawks. The Americans come off a pair of losses to Prince Albert and Swift Current. Portland rolling right along, but they're only 4 points ahead of Victoria for the Western Division Championship. Once again, the Portland Winterhawks and Tri-City Americans tonight will have the starting lineups and face-off in 1 minute on this Tri-Cities Americans hockey broadcast.
Nail Care Salon, carrying professional products for all your hair care needs. Perfect 10 also uses advanced techniques in perm, cut, color, and foil lightening. Perfect 10 is open Monday through Friday, 9 a.m. to 8 p.m. Saturdays, 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. Perfect hair, perfect nails, a perfect you at Perfect 10.
Wearing the captain's fee tonight. The goaltender for the Americans, number 33, Olaf Kolzig. Kolzig got chased on Saturday night after kind of a rocky start, Tony, against the Swift Current Broncos. Nothing like a couple of quick goals the way Swift Current plays for a goalie to start to wonder what's going on around him, and that's what happened to Kolzig.
Well, and I think it's really good that Coach John Oliver's given Ole a chance to come back in, sit in the net tonight, and he plays very well against Portland, as a matter of fact. He plays that type of goalie that the type of floppy type goalie, using the body, the big body that he's got to stop some of the good plays that Portland does. Portland's very, very hot right now as far as power play goes. That's one thing the Americans let Swift Current do. That's one thing they've got to work on tonight against Portland, because if they think that Swift Current took advantage of their power plays, let you see what Portland's done. Portland has scored 10 goals out of 18 power play opportunities in the last 2 games.
Brad Watson, the referee tonight, and the two big linesmen, Jay Scher and Brian Mack. Well, Mack's not that big, but Jay Scher is big enough to hunt bears with a switch. Both teams are now on the ice, and we'll be back with the opening face-off in 1 minute on this Tri-Cities Radio America's hockey broadcast.
I need it.
Anything to help out?
Yeah, thanks.
Christ, my kids walking around writing OKs on things.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets' red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Singing of our national anthem, and we're ready to get things underway tonight. Once again, for the Americans, it is Rennie with Nibs and Duval. That's kind of a new line for Tri-Cities. Dirksen and Jakes. Jakes back from a 4-game suspension incurred against these Portland Winterhawks. For the Winterhawks, Myton. And on the line with Scott Myton are Kluston and Anchikoski.
This first period face-off sponsored by the Hockey Shop on Welshon Way in Richland. Kirk?
And it'll be Rennie against Scott Myton now. Face-off down. Rennie wins it. Drops it back right to Jakes. Jakes fires it in. Right of the Portland zone. Goes around behind the Portland net. Myton plays it out along the right wing to Anchikoski. He fires a cross-ice pass. It'll go into the Tri-City zone. Icing when Dirksen gets to it. And it's icing called, and we'll take timeout on this Tri-Cities Radio Americans hockey broadcast.
Care Salon, carrying professional products for all your hair care needs. Perfect 10 also uses advanced techniques in perm, cut, color, and foil lightening. Perfect 10 is open Monday through Friday, 9 a.m. to 8 p.m. Saturdays, 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. Perfect hair, perfect nails, a perfect you at Perfect 10.
To the right side, chasing it after it is Rennie. Comes up the left wing, dumped in right side now. Behind the Portland net, Mitchell wheels around behind his own net, feeds it up the right side, gets it to Myton. Myton across the blue line into Tri-City zone. Myton slides it into the slot. Broken up by the Americans, it goes to Rennie. At the Portland blue line, up the right wing now comes Nibs. Nibs whips it in, right of the Portland net. It'll come all the way around to the left wing. Nibs there for it. And it goes to the blue line where Duval dumps it back in. Barnes all over him. Barnes walks in on Defoe, whips it around him, and it's blocked away. Barnes lost it against the post, and right there was Mitchell to knock it out of the net. Shot into the Tri-City zone. Kolzig dumps it away for Kotowitz. Big opportunity there for the Americans. Here comes Barnes up the left wing with it. Drops it back to Nibs. Nibs fires across ice, and Barnes there to break up the pass. Stu Barnes wheels back to his own zone. Drops it off now to Kraus. Here comes Kraus with it. Right straight up the middle. Rob Kraus dumps it in. Right in the Portland net, and the Americans chasing after it. Lebrun as Kennedy pastes his man to the boards. Lebrun puts a big hit on there. Lebrun, a shot backhand from the right side. No. As Defoe stops it, drops it right side to Viafor. Viafor to Black. Terry Black stolen away from him by Lebrun. Lebrun with it. Cross ice right now to Kraus. Kraus will go behind his net to start the breakout. Hard pass right up to center ice, and it'll be icing against the Americans if the Winterhawks can get to it first. Viafor takes Barnes off of it, and they do get to the puck first. Early going here. Looks like a different Tri-Cities team than we saw last Saturday night.
That's right, Kirk. The Tri-City team right now currently on an 0-2 streak at home. They've lost their 2 last games at home to Prince Albert and Swift Current. They've come out and done some very good forechecking down in the Portland zone already. A great opportunity by Stu Barnes, just missed. But the Americans sure look like a completely different team than they did against Swift Current.
Well, Barnes cut Defoe out of the crease, tried to wrap it around the post, and it just seemed to stick right there on the edge of the post. Now it's Delcourt against Dennis Holland. Delcourt comes out. Kwiatkowski goes in. A checking line on against Holland's line as the puck goes into the right corner. Now Scherstenka with it. Tri-City zone. Dan Scherstenka brings it up, looks for Spinrath. Plays it by him at the left wing, and Scherstenka will get it back. He'll turn around, take it across ice right to Jakes. Now Jakes brings it up for the Americans. Jakes, headman pass to Delcourt. Broken up by the Winterhawks. Backboard to Scherstenka. Dan Scherstenka in his own zone. Fires it up to center ice. Knocked back into the Tri-City zone by Holland. Delcourt there to break up the play to Jakes. Jakes up the right wing now. Clears it ahead to Kwiatkowski. Taken down is Delcourt. Defoe comes out. Plays it out of the crease at the blue line. Scherstenka. Scherstenka walks in. Has it batted away, but Kwiatkowski.
By Darren Kwiatkowski as he picks up the rebound from Dan Scherstenka, catching Defoe on the glove side and low into the net. The Americans take the lead 1-0.
Comes to 2:29 of the period. And it'll be the Americans with a 1-0 lead over the Portland Winterhawks. Well, they do give Scherstenka an assist. Scherstenka and Jakes both getting assists. And the Americans with a 1-0 lead over the Winterhawks. Here comes Portland. And Tchaikovsky firing it in right of the Tri-Cities net. Kolzig whips it out the left wing. Taken off the boards by Biofor, a drive, and it's over the net. And Kolzig puts it over the glass into the crowd. 1-0 Tri-Cities.
That was Darren Kwiatkowski's 9th goal of the season. A great slap shot. Lots of power behind it and low, and that's a great place to put it against Brian Defoe.
Well, that one just looked like it exploded off of his stick. And I don't think Defoe ever saw it coming. Face-off right circle, Tri-City zone. It'll be Rennie against Tchaikovsky. Into the right wing. Kraus there with it. Out to Calvin Nibs. Nibs down low now to Kraus behind his own net. They fire it back to center ice. Portland dumping it back to their own blue line. Into the Tri-City zone. Penalty coming. We have a slash. Is the call by Brad Watson, and it will go against Murray Duval of the Tri-City Americans, and Duval is not real happy about that call.
And Kirk, I believe they've added on to this one too.
Murray had the mouth going big time as he went over there, so Duval gets 2 minutes for slashing, and he may get could very well get a misconduct on top of it.
He's over there, Brad Watson, referee Watson's over there explaining it to Coach John Oliver.
Well, the phones will be ringing in a minute here.
We'll get the official in just a moment. And looks as if they are going to serve a bench minor. Devin Dirksen is going to go ahead and serve it.
Yep. Dirksen in the box. Portland winning the draw. Shot by Holland. Stoned by Kolzig. And the puck comes back. Portland on the power play. Their first of the night. Puck goes left. Out to Holland. Broken up by Rennie. Rennie fires it into the Portland zone. Down right of the Portland net. Back in for it quickly is Mitchell. Mitchell around behind his own net. Feeds an outlet pass right. Quickly to Dennis Holland. Holland brings it up in a hurry. The young man, a third-round pick of the Detroit Red Wings. Top of the circle now, Mitchell. Mitchell nearly losing it to Delcourt. Chops it along the blue line left to Terry Black. Black has it stolen away from him by Jake. Here comes Jakes, coast to coast. Jakes a shot. Smothered up front by Mitchell. Right side, Mitchell around behind his own net. Minute 12 remaining in the penalty. Bench minor served by Dirksen, but it will not extend the power play as Finrath slaps the puck loose. Now it goes into the Tri-City zone. Line of the net, Greg Leahy. Tried to center it. Broken up by Finrath. Knocked back into neutral ice. Now racing on is Rick Fry. As the Americans make a quick line change. Leahy with it at the red line. Goes up left side, Myton. Myton into the left corner. Myton tried to center it. Scored! Comes right out front to Biofor, and he drilled it. Beautiful move by Scott Myton to Biofor in the slot left of the net. And the Winterhawks light the lamp.
That's their 12th power play goal in 19 attempts.
Plus a 10-minute misconduct. We'll have the goal score in just a moment.
10-minute misconduct called against Murray Duval. Dirksen went in and served the 2 minutes, so he's back on the ice. But Duval gets a 10-minute misconduct. Portland's goal, a power play goal. Leahy and Myton getting the assist. Coming at the 4:31 mark. And the puck shot into the Tri-City zone. Back for it in a hurry. Dirksen feeds it out left side to Lebrun. Lebrun kicks it loose. And there's Kutowitz. As Lebrun took a big hit from Hamish Black. Back behind the net now. Kelly Kutowitz. Kutowitz brings it out the right side. Goes right to Dirksen. He fires it up the left wing. Shot back in by Portland. Back behind the Tri-Cities net. Giveaway right in front of the net. And it's slapped wide of the net by Corley. Puck comes up the left wing. Lebrun. His pass smothered by Portland. Puck goes right in front of the Tri-Cities bench. At center ice. Now Kennedy with it. Kennedy leaves it for Barnes. Barnes across the blue line to Kennedy. Kennedy right side as Barnes took some big hits, and then Kennedy gives it away to Hamish Black. Here comes James Hamish Black across the red line, dumping it in right of the Tri-Cities net. Back forward is Dirksen. Line change Portland. Dirksen outlet pass left to Lebrun. We're tied at 1. early in the first. Lebrun across the blue line. Sean Lebrun, a shot that is blocked by Defoe. Comes down in the slot. Barnes whacked at it, and Defoe covers it up again. 14:24 to go. First period here at Tri-Cities Coliseum. That was a nice play by Lebrun to take that in.
Yeah, that sure was. And he took a nice little shot, too, on Byron Defoe. And that went right straight up in the air, about 25 feet. And everybody's skating around looking for it. And it popped right down in front of Stu Barnes. And Stu took a little swat at it, couldn't connect with it, and Defoe covered it up for a face-off.
Face-off right circle, Portland zone. McNutt, Steve McNutt, back from Calgary, went back to see a specialist in his hometown. He's back with the Americans today. Delcourt comes in, wins the draw, shot taken to the right point by Jakes. Scherstenka with the puck along the left point. Portland with it, down underneath, low they go. Winterhawks, stolen away by Delcourt. Right side now to McNutt, to Delcourt, Sanders, Scherstenka in the slot, a shot! Blocked by Defoe, puck's loose, and a penalty coming up. Boy, Scherstenka just about 5-hole Defoe from about 10 feet straight away.
It looks like the penalty is going to be going against the Portland Winterhawks. A holding call against, it looks like, Mike Moore.
Penalty coming at the 5:59 mark, and Moore sits down. Hold is the call. Murray Duval down there serving a 10-minute misconduct.
This will give the opportunity for the Americans to use their first power play opportunity of the night. The Portland Winterhawks kill penalties at about a 74% clip, while the Americans score at just under 20%.
Well, and that's 20% average over the season.
That's right.
Counting the first half of the season when it was down around 11.
That's exactly right.
So of late, it's been a little better.
Yes, it has.
Face-off, Barnes winning it from Clouston. At the blue line, Jakes. Jakes has it stolen away by Portland. Myton to Clouston. Clouston left, Myton a drive. Kind of a weak shot, and Kolzig there to slap it away. Back to neutral ice, Winterhawks chase it back. Middlestat with it. Wheels into his own zone, gloved by Kennedy. Kennedy takes it across the blue line. Feeds a pass left for Barnes. Taken away from him by Biafor. Into the corner they go. But Barnes has it. Barnes for Nibs. They play it back to the point to Lebrun. Lebrun back to Barnes, left of the net. Barnes starts into the slot. Kennedy scores! They score! Beautiful pass, Barnes to Kennedy to Nibs, and Calvin Nibs knew what to do with it.
That's exactly right. What a beautiful play execution from the Tri-City Americans on that power play. Barnes takes it in, does a nice little dish pass over to Troy Kennedy. Troy Kennedy spots Calvin Nibs sitting all by himself on the glove side of Defoe. Switched it right over to him on a string, and Calvin Nibs with a nice little one-timer puts it in the net, and the Americans take the lead 2-1.
Well, and Calvin Nibs scores his 11th goal of the season. Face-off will be McNutt against Holland. At center ice, Holland wins it, draws it back right to Jorgenson. Kevin Jorgenson dumping it in left of the Tri-Cities net. Kolzig there, leaves it for Kraus. Kraus behind the net. Starts out the left side this time, dumps it off right to Kutowicz. Kutowicz back behind the net. Looks to the right, Kelly Kutowicz holding the puck, goes right to Kraus. Kraus airing it into the Portland zone. They'll chase after it. It's on goal. Defoe has to play it, no icing. And back to the blue line. Puck stays in play. Delcourt racing after it, dumping it into the left corner. Ahead of Mitchell. They try to center it. McNutt tries to center for Spenrath. Can't get it to him. Puck shot back around to the left point. Kutowicz there to keep it in play. Down low, Delcourt. Delcourt tried to center to Spenrath. Taken off his stick by Holland. Here comes Dennis Holland for the Winterhawks. Rifles one into the Tri-City zone. Mick there. His shot, and Kolzig found him. He ran right over Kolzig, and Troy Mick will remember that shot. Puck up into neutral ice now. Dumped into the Portland zone as Krauss and Biafor tangle. Up the right side now to Leahy. Off the right wing boards, a big slap shot, and Kolzig makes the glove save. Kolzig leaving it behind for Krauss. Here comes Rob Krauss in a hurry. Plays it off the boards left for Nibs, but is broken up by Terry Black. Fired back into the Portland zone. Hamish Black dropping it behind the net now. Into the right corner. Here comes Corley. Corley plays it up to the right point by a 4. He shoots it in wide of the net. Up to the left wing boards. Kwiatkowski kicks it loose. His pass smothered, but Rennie's there. Back to neutral ice by a 4 for the Winterhawks. By a 4 plays it off right to Terry Black, and a whistle.
We have a two-line pass.
2-1, Tri-Cities leading the Portland Winterhawks as the teams have traded power play goals here.
Boy, what a play down there by Olaf Kolzig to just completely stone number 22, Troy Mick, and then give him a nice little body slam beside.
I imagine that Troy Mick will probably be seeing great big goalies in his nightmares for a while. That was quite a collision. Face-off just inside the Portland blue line. Barnes against Hamish Black. Both young men from the Edmonton area. Barnes from Spruce Grove, an Edmonton suburb. Hamish Black wins the draw. Goes nice to Viafor, stolen by Barnes, but he can't get back to the puck. Here comes Viafor now. Viafor hits stolen from him by Lebrun. Lebrun across the blue line. Lebrun right side. Backhand shot blocked by Defoe. Puck's loose right of the net as they race in after, but the Winterhawks have it. Now Lebrun and Barnes dig for it. Puck's loose. Barnes with it. Barnes has it on, or Kennedy has it on his stick up to Finca. His shot blocked out front by Hamish Black. Here comes Hamish Black with Corley up the right side. And Corley taken down by Finca. Corley looking for the block, couldn't get it. Kolzig comes out of the net. And the puck slides behind him onto the boards and is covered up there as the Winterhawk lands on top of it. Woo!
Well, I tell you what, I don't know if Olaf Kolzig knew exactly where that puck was, the way he was dancing around the net there.
I don't think he did. I think he, in fact, I think he was afraid it was behind him and was afraid to look. 2-1 as Tri-Cities leading the Portland Winterhawks. Here at Tri-Cities Coliseum, not a sellout tonight. If you're, well, if you've been thinking you'd like to come to a hockey game, do it now.
That's right.
Because you're going to see a great one tonight.
I agree.
11:07 to go, first period. Fleetwood against Robertson. Robertson wins the draw, holds up Fleetwood. Kraus with it, fires it up the left wing board. Shot taken and blocked by Kolzig. That was a tough one to play as Mitchell and Fleetwood both took shots at it, but Kolzig there to make the block. Now Kraus with it, brings it out in front of the net. Comes up to center ice. Kraus firing it in left of the Portland net. They race after it, touched there by Mitchell. And it'll be icing when Mitchell touches it. With the call icing, we'll be back on this Tri-Cities Radio Americans hockey broadcast. For Mitchell for Portland, goes left now to Middlestadt. Blocked left of the net. They chase down underneath low. Robertson with it. Down behind the net. It comes out now to Spenrath. Spenrath with it. Back to neutral ice. It goes to Mitchell. Mitchell shoots it back into the Tri-City zone. Kraus there for it. Kraus ahead to Rick Fry. It slides into the Portland zone. It'll be icing when Middlestadt, no, it's washed off. Comes back up along the right wing boards. Taken out by Thudium. Thudium, headman pass, goes on the left side to Gray Eyes. And a whistle as Gray Eyes goes down. Robertson and Middlestadt having a little go in back in the Portland zone. Middlestadt and Robertson, one of them or the other, will draw a roughing penalty. And it looks like it'll be Joey Middlestadt.
This will give the Americans their second power play opportunity. They're already 1-for-1 tonight. And this is a great chance for the Americans to increase that lead. They lead right now 2-1 with 10:13 remaining in this first period.
Penalty coming at the 9:47 mark. Middlestadt draws the penalty for roughing. Second power play for the Tri-City Americans.
Sean Clouston over there to ask referee Jay Scherers exactly what's going on and how come the call was made. And obviously not getting any help there.
And the face-off will come at center ice between the Tri-Cities blue line and the center ice mark. It'll be Clouston against Barnes. Sean Clouston from Midnapore, Alberta. Stu Barnes from Spruce Grove, Alberta. Barnes and Clouston on the face-off. Barnes with Nibs and Kennedy now. Face-off won by Barnes. Kennedy dumps it left side, goes to Lebrun. Lebrun across the Portland blue line. Sean Lebrun held up there by Jorgenson, but he gets it down low where Nibs has it and the net's dislodged as Barnes is slammed into the net by Roy Mitchell.
And that's exactly what they were working on earlier tonight to make sure that did come off. And Stu Barnes was the first person tonight to test it out, and it did come right off of its mooring. They'll replace it, and we'll have a face-off.
Boy, he was running hard by Mitchell that time.
He sure was.
Face-off will come in the left circle, Portland zone. Tri-City Americans on the power play. The line is Barnes with Kennedy and Calvin Nibs. For the Americans at the blue line, Sean Lebrun and Steve Jakes.
You know, it's good to see Brian Shaw behind the bench there. He coached Moose Jaw in Edmonton in the 83-84 season. You know, Kirk, he's had 4 seasons of coaching experience, 140, 85, and 27 for a 60% winning percentage. He's one of the top career coaching percentage winners in the entire WHL.
That'll be Barnes against Scott Myton. In the Portland zone, left circle. Myton chased out. In comes Clouston to face Barnes. The linesman drops the puck. It draws back to Lebrun at the left point. Lebrun finds Jakes, top of the slot, right side for Nibs. Slapped away by Portland. Mitchell chasing it back into neutral ice. Backboard is Jakes for the Americans. They'll reset the power play. Here comes Jakes, wheeling through his own zone across center ice. Steve Jakes up quickly, splits the defense. Barnes right! Barnes shoots! Blocked by Defoe. Around right side. Nibs scores! And he scores! Lebrun! John Lebrun! Beautiful pass by Calvin Nibs as he finds Lebrun in the slot.
Started off with Stu Barnes going around the side of the net. He took a shot on Defoe. Defoe stopped the shot, and there was Calvin Nibs to pick up the rebound, bring it around to his stick side. Finds John Lebrun sitting right out in front of the slot, about 8 feet out. John Lebrun, a nice little wrist shot, catches Defoe napping, and the Americans take the lead 3-1.
And on the faceoff will be Stu Barnes. Les Alber's going to make a line change here for the Americans. And the checking line of Delft Court, Finrath, and McNutt comes onto the ice. The second power play goal for the Tri-City Americans. They go 2 for 2 on power play.
That's excellent.
Face-off at center ice. Taken out of there by McNutt. Stolen away from him by Holland. Jakes hooks Holland, and left it goes to Troy Mick. Mick into left point. Underneath, and McNutt slaps it back to neutral ice. We have a whistle. Cross checking the call. And it's against Portland. Dennis Holland. And he's hollering about that one. Portland's been whistled 3 times in the period.
Well, that's really good to see the Americans, and they're playing the type of hockey the Americans are really known for. As you've seen, Kirk, as they've come out of that locker room to start this game, they have done nothing but apply pressure on Portland. That has affected Portland's style of play, and Portland is a wheeling and dealing type of team. They can't play physical, and when they start playing physical, this is what happens. They get penalties. The Americans are doing exactly what they want to do, following the game plan, and scoring on the opportunities that they're given.
Certainly have. The Americans, Kwiatkowski, Nibs, and Lebrun have lit the lamp so far in the first period. Barnes against Leahy. Barnes draws it over to Lebrun. Lebrun with it. Lebrun and Jakes at the blue line for the Americans. Lebrun bringing it up, dumping it in left to the Portland net. Mike Moore back after it for Portland, and he'll shoot it right into the penalty box. That was kind of a nice little 9-iron shot from back behind the Portland goal line. Went right into the Portland penalty box.
And he's pretty lucky they didn't get whistled for a delay of game on that one as well.
Now it'll be Barnes again against Sean Leahy, or Greg Leahy. Greg's father, Sean, at one time was to be the director of player personnel for the Tri-City Americans. Barnes and Leahy. Leahy from Calgary. Now Barnes being asked to leave the face-off circle by the linesman, and in will come Troy Kennedy. Puck is down. Kennedy draws it back to Jakes at the blue line. Jakes' shot blocked up front, goes into the right corner. Nibs and Kennedy race in after it and wipe each other out. Kennedy keeps it on his stick. Now it's poked back up front to Nibs. Nibs, Jakes. It's smothered as Jakes and Leahy scramble for it. Now Jakes with it, out to Lebrun. Here comes Lebrun across the blue line. Looks at a shot, overskates the puck, gets tied up in Biafor's glove, or Biafor's skates rather. Now backboard is Jakes. Troy Mick all over Jakes. Cross ice right, Kennedy back to Barnes. Barnes up the right wing. Here comes Barnes wheeling in. Barnes leaving it for Kennedy, or for Nibs rather. His shot blocked by Defoe. Now Portland takes it away up the right wing. It'll be a hooking call as the Winterhawks were hooked. Mick was hooked right in front of the official along the Portland right wing boards.
And I believe it's going to go against Sean Lebrun.
Yeah, I think you're right. Well, that will end a power play opportunity. The Americans' third. 2 minutes for tripping. And it comes at the 11:29 mark.
Another thing this will do, too, is that as soon as the penalty is completed to Dennis Holland, they'll have a 56-second power play to work with.
4-on-4. This is the the time when the game really can open up. Lots of room on the ice as Greg Delcourt and Jamie Hamish Black will face off inside the Tri-City zone. Top of the right circle. Puck's down, drawn back now to Devin Dirksen. Dirksen will take it up the left wing. Dumps it into neutral ice. Backboard is Middlestat. Middlestat firing left to Terry Black in a two-line pass, as Middlestat was just inside his zone when he made the pass. 8:23 remaining in the first period. Kirk Williamson along with Tony Ott on this Tri-Cities radio hockey broadcast. The puck will be put in play just inside the Portland blue line. 4-on-4 for another 56 seconds. Then the penalty to Holland will run out, and Portland will have their second power play. Delcourt against Hamish Black. Puck is down. Delcourt getting his stick on it first. Kutowicz tried to knock it loose. It's into the Portland zone. Left to Terry Black. Black up the left wing boards. His pass knocked loose by Dirksen to Delcourt. Drop back pass neatly to Kutowicz. Ahead to Spenrath. Spenrath beats his man, then has it poke checked away by Middlestat. Wheeling back in his own zone for it is Hamish Black. Here comes Hamish Black, right straight up the middle. Starts across the blue line, and Kutowicz takes him out of the play. Up the left wing now is Dirksen. Dirksen for the Americans, dumping it into the Portland zone. Left there by Defoe. He whips it around right of the net. Comes out the left wing now to Hamish Black. Portland having a little trouble getting out of their zone. Now Mitchell up the right side. Mitchell, headman pass right to Terry Black. A drive, and Kolzig makes the save. Kolzig took that one right square in the middle and made the big save for the Tri-City Americans.
You know, Terry Black and Rob Krauss have something in common. They used to play together, matter of fact, for several years. Terry Black came 1 year after Rob Krauss at Lethbridge, and they played there until Lethbridge disbanded and went to Swift Current. They asked to be traded because they didn't want to go up to Swift Current, and then they were sent to Calgary, where Greg Leahy joined them, and they played together through the 86-87 season in Calgary. Then they moved back to Lethbridge, played out the 87-88, and then they got traded to the separate teams they're on now.
Americans 3, Winterhawks 1. Here at Tri-Cities Coliseum, face-off won by the Americans. Jakes back behind his own net. Steve Jakes bringing it out the right side now in a hurry. Jakes quickly shoots a pass left for Rennie. Rennie has it. Tries to get around Black. Can't do it. Portland with it. Here comes Viafor. Portland power play. Mick whips it in left of the Tri-Cities net all the way around to the right wing, but Nibs is there to chop it loose. Portland with it. Holland right of the net. Here comes Dennis Holland. Feeds a pass up to Terry Black. Black goes right to Holland. Holland with it. On the right wing, tried to center it, and it was chopped away by the Americans off to the left wing boards. Terry Black tries to dump it down low. Rennie there to break up the play. Defoe plays it out right to Holland, and Portland will start over. 28 seconds remaining in the Winterhawks power play. Here comes Holland across the blue line. Holland left side, drop pass, and it's broken up by the Americans. Kwiatkowski firing it into the Tri-Cities bench, and it will be turned into a souvenir by Ferland. But fumble fingers down there. Gary Vanderberg can't hang on to it. Loses it. Ferland has to get it back and put it back up into the crowd.
That was an excellent play there by co-captain Steve Jakes to poke check that puck away from a moving Dennis Holland as he was trying to scoot in on Olaf Kolzig. Great defensive play by Steve Jakes.
Face off top of the left circle. Tri-City zone. It will be Holland against Delcourt. Holland wins the draw. Drives it back to Terry Black. Right. Viafor. His shot just wide of the net. And there's Leahy with it. Leahy back up front. Viafor slides it right to Holland. Holland wrist shot around behind the net. The left side Black. Terry Black on the boards. Americans try to get to it. 3 seconds left in the power play. Puck goes across in front of the Tri-Cities net. Americans back to full strength as Lebrun comes on. Puck shot into the right corner. Krauss after it with Mick. Comes up the right wing to Lebrun. Lebrun headman pass right to Delcourt. 2-on-2. Delcourt and McNutt. Leaves it for McNutt right of the net. Steve McNutt. Taken down hard by the Winterhawks Holland, and Holland starts the rush, goes right to Mick. Here comes Troy Mick up the right side. Kraus looking him over. Mick with it, puts a move on Kraus, starts in on Kolzig, puck loose right in the slot, shot out of there. A drive by Jorgenson, blocked by Kolzig, into the right corner it goes. That could have been big trouble for Kolzig as the Winterhawks and Americans tie it up in the right corner.
That's a good play defensively by the Americans, and the puck was then kicked out to Kevin Jorgenson, number 21. He cranked up, took a wild slap shot, and Delcourt was standing right there in front of Olaf Kolzig. Those are very difficult because they screen the goalie when that happens, and luckily enough, Olaf Kolzig was there to put his pad out, stop the puck, and this is still a 3-1 game.
5:57 to go, first period. Kirk Williamson along with Tony Ott. Face off into the right corner. Back for it is Kutowicz. Kutowicz for the Americans. Plays it around to Rick Fry. Fry gloves it, drops it to the ice. He'll bring it out left of his own net. Fry up the left wing now. Headman pass for Rennie. Rennie's tied up, but he kicks it into the Portland zone. Back for it in a hurry is Jorgenson. Jorgenson wheels around, bangs it off the boards into neutral ice. Kutowicz there, fires it back to the Portland zone. Dave Pohl leaving it for Mike Moore. Moore's outlet pass stolen away by Kutowicz in the slot. Nibs fires it against the boards. Back for it is Stenka. Shoots it into the slot. Shot in by Fry, but Portland there to block the play. Comes out to the neutral ice. Now Myton in a hurry up the right wing. Scott Myton in the slot. Wrist shot blocked out front. Kutowicz has it to Rennie. Rennie plays it off the board. Steve Rennie, 2-on-1. Rennie and Scherstenka. Rennie shot wide of the net. Scherstenka there to get his stick on it. Right is Middlestad. Middlestad up the right wing. Joey Middlestad overtakes Myton, but Rennie checks it away from him. Rennie with the puck for the Americans, right to Jakes. Try to shoot it into the Portland zone. Now the Winterhawks with it. Cross ice right to Roy Mitchell. Mitchell ahead now to Thudium. Thudium's drive wide of the net left side. Fleetwood races after it. Puck comes around to the right wing. Shot back into neutral ice by the Americans. Lebrun to Barnes. Barnes beats his man. Barnes to Dave. Oh! Barnes can't shoot. Out to Lebrun. Scores! John Lebrun with 2 in a row. Stu Barnes went in on that play first to start developing that great goal by John Lebrun as he took the puck down into the zone on a breakaway, moved Byron Defoe completely out of the net, took a nice little angle shot, it hit the post, bounced back out in front. Troy Kennedy took a swipe at it, missed it, and there was John Lebrun to pick it up and then throw it right underneath Byron Defoe's 5-hole and into the net as the Americans take a 4-1 lead over the Portland Winterhawks. 4:31 to go. The goal coming at the 15:49 mark. Americans leading 4-1 over the Winterhawks. Face off at center ice, won by Portland. Hamish Black. Hamish Black right of the net. They try to center it, poked away by the Americans. Barnes getting one assist. Out front, Jorgenson, his drive blocked. Barnes getting the assist, the only assist on the play, as the puck is frozen in the right corner. And now the scoreboard starting to help the crowd count. 1, 2, 3, 4.
Well, that's kind of nice because we last 2 games we really haven't had that kind of emotion involved in the game. It's good to see the spot. It's a fairly good-sized crowd here, actually. About how many would you say, Kirk?
5,200, maybe.
4,850.
All right. 4:15 to go in the first period. Tri-Cities and Portland. Barnes against Hamish Black. Well, the momentum from this game would certainly go well on the road to Victoria tonight. The team will leave here tonight about midnight to go to Victoria to play the Cougars tomorrow night. Now Lebrun steps in for the face-off against Hamish Black. Puck is down. Hamish Black draws it out right side to Jorgenson. Jorgenson dumps it down low. Goes behind the Tri-Cities net. In after it is Kennedy, and we got a whistle. Roughing is the call. And I'm not sure who's going to draw that one. Kraus is not happy. It looks like Kraus is going to draw the penalty.
Brian Gurley was down there antagonizing
Well, no,
it
isn't either. Maybe it'll be Sandwich.
Sandwich is going to be the one coming.
Sandwich has been on the ice all of about 8 seconds. The young man from Stony Plain, Alberta. That penalty coming at the 15:53 mark. Tran Sandwich just turned 17, 6'4", 220 pounds. And I want to tell you what, there is USDA prime.
No doubt about it. Born and raised in Canada.
Well, you'd still mark that one prime. Hamish Black with it at the left point. Goes down low for Portland as they win the draw. Out to Biofor. Top of the slot. Slides it right. Mick Holland. And Kolzig made the stop. Holy cow, and it's saved by Kolzig.
Incredible play by Ole the goalie.
A bang-bang play. Mick to Holland, and Holland from about a foot away, and Kolzig played it all the way.
And that's great goaltending right there. Beautiful job.
Indeed it is. Face-off, left circle, Tri-City zone. Rennie against Holland. Now Holland being invited to go somewhere else. And in comes Leahy. That's what my 6-year-old says. Be somewhere else, Dad. Back behind the net. Kraus feeds it out the left side. Buyout for. Drops it down low. They center. Holland shoots it wide of the net. Leahy comes back up front down to Hamish Black. They play it down low behind the Tri-City's net. Mick there. Mick tried to get it around to Dennis Holland. Broken up by Kraus. Kraus firing it into neutral ice. Length of the ice. Defoe stands beside his goal line and will leave it for Buyout. Buyout round behind the net. Up the left side. Chad Buyout fires it up left to Hamish Black. Hamish Black in a hurry across the blue line. Drops it off right side to Holland. Holland centers for Buyout. Nibs almost had his stick on it. Buyout with it. Slides it right to Leahy. Back to Buyout. Top of the slot. Right. Leahy. Leahy and Buyout, both left-handers. Buyout with it. Feeds it left now to Troy Mick. Mick right across the goal mouth for Holland, and nobody can get to it. Rennie all over Hamish Black as they take it down low now. Underneath the Tri-City's net. Holland with it. Back up front. Buyout. Right side. Hamish Black wide of the net. He scored. That may have gone off of Kolzig's skate.
I believe it did, Kirk. When Ole was doing his butterfly kick, he may have kicked it just a little bit too soon. And as soon as he did that, it caught right underneath the side of his skate and ricocheted back into the net. And the Portland Winterhawks have added a power play goal. I believe that's their second out of 4 attempts tonight. Is that correct, Kirk?
Well, yeah. You
2 out of 3? 2 out of 3?
2 out of 3.
And they are very hot on their power plays. That's one thing the Americans have got to watch out for tonight as this game progresses. Is that power play. They are awesome at it.
Well, and the Americans have gone 2 for 3 as well. 4-2. Holland getting the assist on Hamish Black's goal. 4-2. Puck stolen by Barnes at center ice. Taken back by Portland, but Kutowitz there to block the pass. And it goes down behind the Portland net. Racing after it is Kennedy. Kennedy at the right wing. Kennedy tied up with Clouston. And they'll have a face-off in the Portland zone. 2:35 to go. First period. 4-2 Tri-City.
You know, the Portland Winterhawks currently right now, they're not playing a very solid hockey game, but they are playing an effective one. Currently on the last 5 games, they're 1-4 in their last 5 road games, 4-8-1 in their last 13 road games. So road-wise, they're not winning either.
Barnes with Lebrun and Kennedy. Barnes draws it toward the goal. Has to leave it behind Clouston there to break it up, but Barnes gets it right back. Barnes across the blue line. Puts a great move on Anchikowski. Barnes a shot. Kennedy scores! Kennedy! Kennedy from Barnes. Barnes ought to get 2 assists on that one. What a play by Stu.
Stu Barnes is hot tonight. When Stu Barnes is hot, the rest of the Americans follow suit, and there you go. Stu Barnes took a beautiful pass inside there, doing a little bit of his razzle-dazzle as he does. Took the puck in, took a shot on Defoe, and Defoe blocked it. But then there was Troy Kennedy to push it right past him, and I mean there was an inch or 2 left to spare.
Well, Wayne Anchikowski ought to go ask Stu Barnes for some parts of his uniform back, because Barnes took him right out of it.
25, Troy Kennedy. The assist to number 14, Stu Barnes.
Face-off won by Portland. They shoot it ahead now to Hamish Black. A shot. Kolzig covers it up. And there's no rebound as Kolzig makes the save.
That's Stu Barnes' 4th point this period, all assists. So far, Stu Barnes has 95 points on the year. He has got 196 career points, and he is 4 points away from hitting that 200-point plateau.
Barnes has 56 assists on the year.
Incredible already. That's just...
Face-off, left circle. McNutt against Hamish Black. Yeah, he has really been on a tear here of late. Mostly assists.
That's right. As a matter of fact, Kurt, assist.
Lebrun and Kennedy are sending him thank you notes once a week.
That's it.
Face-off, left circle, a shot quickly off the face-off, covered up by Kolzig. Oh, Hamish Black hit a rocket from the left circle, and Kolzig made the big save again.
Speaking of assists, Stu on a 5-game streak currently in points scored. Now is a 6 game. Before tonight's contest, he had 2 goals and 12 assists in 5 games.
Now it's Rennie against Hamish Black. Rennie winning the draw, dumping it down low. Scherstenka behind his own net. Dan Scherstenka will start the breakout for the Americans. 2 minutes to go in the period. Scherstenka. It's a little move on Hamish Black. Fires it out to neutral ice. Viafor steals it for Portland. Goes on the right side to Terry Black. Black centers Viafor. They try to slide it down low, and the Americans break it up again. Scherstenka with it. Dan Scherstenka off the boards for Spenrath to Delcourt. Delcourt dives after it. Goes into the Portland zone. Delcourt keeping it in play there. Shot back to neutral ice. Jakes breaks it up. Jakes with the puck at the blue line. Dumps it in right of the Portland net. Defoe leaving it there for Viafor. They bring it up the right wing. Delcourt underneath the Spenrath. He drops it back down low from McNutt. McNutt takes it away from his man. Centers it for Scherstenka. Nobody can get to it. Corley bringing it up for Portland. Brian Corley, a shot, and Kolzig will glove it. Right side, McNutt. McNutt starts up the left wing now for the Americans. Steps around Holland. Fires it down for Spenrath. It'll be icing when Middlestat gets to it. And a big hit, Spenrath on Middlestat. And those two want to have words. Icing is the call, and we'll be back on this Tri-Cities Radio Americans hockey broadcast.
Perfect 10, the official hairstylist of the Tri-City Americans. Perfect 10 features a full-service hair and nail care salon, carrying professional products for all your hair care needs. Perfect 10 also uses advanced techniques in perm, cut, color, and foil lightening. Perfect 10 is open Monday through Friday, 9 a.m. to 8 p.m., Saturdays 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. Perfect hair, perfect nails, a perfect you at Perfect 10.
Okay. Back at Tri-Cities Coliseum, Kirk Williamson along with Tony Ott. Face off in the right circle as Spenrath is called for boarding. And did he ever? I mean, that was... if you were going to draw boarding on the chalkboard, you would show it just the way Spenrath did it to Joey Middlestat.
No doubt about it. And a big thing about this is, Kirk, is they get to come back in the second period. Portland does, and has about a 54-second power play to start off that second period.
5-2 Tri-Cities leading the Winterhawks. Winterhawks win the draw. Comes up the right wing boards, and it's frozen there as Kutowitz doing a good job of holding Troy Mick along the boards. And they'll face it off in the right circle now. For the Americans, the penalty killers are Rennie and Kennedy, Kutowitz and Kraus with Kolzig in goal. For Portland, the power play team is Holland with Leahy on his left, Mick on his right. At the blue line, Hamish Black and Viafor. Hamish Black right, Viafor a shot, blocked up front. Puck loose in the slot. Rennie there for the Americans. 52 seconds to play. Rennie up the right wing, fires it into the Portland zone. Rebound bounces out to Viafor. Viafor with it, right of his net. He starts the breakout. Headman pass goes right to Hamish Black. Across the blue line, and Mick is there. Mick centers, but Rennie breaks up the play. Rennie right in the passing lane. Played again by Defoe. Ahead to Viafor. 27 seconds to play in the period. Viafor goes right for Holland. And Kutowitz is there as Holland can't get to the pass. Kutowitz slapping back to the Portland zone. Viafor with it along the right wing. Chad Viafor bringing it up the right side into neutral ice, goes left to Holland. Holland whipping it in left of the Tri-Cities net, and he's hit hard by Jakes. Now Kutowitz with it into the right corner, and Kutowitz fires it back to neutral ice. 4 seconds left on the clock. 2 seconds. One. A shot at the buzzer, and Kolzig makes the stop as Mick turned around and blasted one. But Kolzig makes the stop at the end of the period. The score: the Tri-City Americans 5, the Portland Winterhawks 2. We'll be back on this Tri-Cities Radio Americans hockey broadcast. Back at Tri-Cities Coliseum, the Portland Winterhawks trailing the Tri-City Americans by a score of 5-2 after the first period. Well, Brian Shaw getting kind of a rude welcome to the Tri-Cities Coliseum in his first venture behind the bench on the regular season for the Winterhawks. That power play will continue. Portland on their 4th power play of the night. They are 2 for 3 so far, and their 4th one has 54 seconds remaining in it as Greg Spenrath steps back into the penalty box. He was called for a boarding violation against Joey Mittelstadt. Incidentally,
this second period face-off sponsored by Vacuum City with locations in Richland and in Pasco.
out on the face-off, won by Portland. Back into the Winterhawks zone goes Hamish Black. Jamie Hamish Black out the left side, now to Biafour. Cross-ice pass right to Holland. What a neat pass. Holland across the Tri-Cities blue line up the right side. Holland losing it low. Drops it down now for Leahy. They center for Mick. And he can't get a clean shot away. Puck into the left corner. Kolzig in goal for the Americans. Puck comes back up now to Biafour. Biafour goes right. Hamish Black, another shot. Kolzig comes up with a save. Back to the point. Kraus there to chop it away. 19 seconds remaining in the power play. Down low for Jakes. Jakes chops it back, but Holland there for Portland. Down to Hamish Black. Hamish Black right. Mick back up front. Biafour. Biafour. His pass deflected by Rennie. Right side Holland. Back up front. Hamish Black left Biafour. Biafour tries to shoot it in, and Kennedy there.
A penalty.
Kennedy's hooked by number 10, Leahy, and the whistle. Hooking is the call. And I think it better go against Greg Leahy.
Oh, it will. There's no doubt about it. He grabbed a hold of Troy Kennedy down there and pulled him down. A great defensive play on all the Americans that were on that penalty-killing squad right there. Excellent defense.
Penalty coming at the 58-second mark. And will result in a power play for the Tri-City Americans. And that will be their 4th power play. They're 2 for 3. On power plays tonight. Sort of amazing.
That's going to be a full power play, by the way, because the Tri-City American penalty had just ended 2 seconds earlier.
5-2, Americans leading the Winterhawks here in Tri-Cities Coliseum. Barnes with Spenrath and Nibs. And the defensemen are Lebrun and Jakes. Face-off won by Portland. Back it goes to Mitchell. Mitchell shoots it into the Tri-City zone, left of the net. Backboard is Lebrun. Lebrun behind his own net. Sean Lebrun waits for Nibs. Calvin comes up the left side. Here comes Calvin Nibs. Nibs across the red line, shooting it in left of the Portland zone. Around to the right wing, Spenrath has it. And Nibs races in. Spenrath and Nibs. Now the Americans fire across ice right. But Myton is there for Portland. Headman to Clouston. Clouston from the wing, a shot, and Kolzig puts it into the corner. Myton dumped by Spenrath. And now here come the Americans. Stu Barnes. Barnes across the red line, the blue line, right side. Barnes in the right point, pulls up short. Stu Barnes with the puck. Backhand pass for Nibs. Broken up by Mittelstadt. Shot by Portland into neutral ice. Backboard is Lebrun. Sean Lebrun with the puck. Back into his own zone. Lebrun with it. Brings it up the left wing now. Sean Lebrun comes up the left wing, going hard. Wheels around his man. Back up front to the point now. To Spenrath. Back down low to Lebrun. Lebrun backhands it left to Nibs underneath. Spenrath couldn't get the packs redirected. Back up front now to Jakes. Gets by Jakes into neutral ice, and Lebrun will run it down. Sean Lebrun back forward for the Americans. Fires a pass to Barnes. Redirected back to Lebrun. And Lebrun will reset for Tri-Cities. 37 seconds left in the penalty. Lebrun right to Jakes. Jakes ahead to Delcourt. Delcourt tried to force a pass, but Nibs is there. Now Jakes takes it up the left wing. Jakes drops it back. Stepping onto the ice is Kennedy. Now Lebrun with it. Up the left side. Firing it into the Portland zone. Racing after it, Delcourt and Jorgenson. They go in behind the Portland net. Puck swept to the right side. Americans with it. Duval a drive! Just wide of the net. May have hit the pipe. Out to Jakes. Jakes' shot blocked up front by Delcourt in the slot. Delcourt trying to get to it. Can't do it. Hamish Black brings it out for Portland. 1 second. The power play's over. Hamish Black dumping it in left side. Black. Drop pass for Leahy. He overskates it. Here come the Americans. 3-on-2.
Penalty up against Portland.
Across the blue line and in too quick is Kennedy. But a penalty coming up against the Winterhawks. Well, Tony, we have a crew here from USA Today, the television show, shooting a lot of video of tonight's game. There will be a story on Tri-Cities, a feature piece, coming up, I think, in about a week or 10 days on USA Today.
Well, that's great. The Portland Winterhawk penalty goes against number 12, Jamie Hamish Black. He'll sit down for a couple minutes. We'll get the official.
Black, 2 minutes for slashing at 3:10.
Hamish Black, as opposed to Terry Black, coming at the 3:10 mark of the period. Face-off outside the Portland zone. Into the Portland zone. Mitchell with it, right of his net. Shoots it up the left wing, now to Middlestad. Middlestad, Americans on the power play, but Portland with the puck. Now gloved by Kwiatkowski, and a whistle as the Americans caught offside. Now the fans are going to air out the linesman on that call.
Boy, I'll tell you something. Brian Mack right there, the linesman, making a call. The puck was in the air, and I believe what he's calling is that broke that blue line plane, and Kwiatkowski was there to punch it back in.
Face-off into the Portland zone, but the Winterhawks have it. They fired in right of the Tri-Cities net. Duval goes after it. Murray Duval back in his own zone. Puck bouncing around a lot now. Duval back behind the net. He'll start the breakout for Tri-Cities. Minute 33 in the power play. Right wing to Jakes. Here comes Jakes, dumping it in left of the Portland zone. As Kwiatkowski's upended. Rennie racing in after it. The Americans center it, but nobody there. Puck comes out right side to Clouston, and he airs it into the Portland zone, into the zone. Myton bringing it down. He's taken down by McNutt, and a whistle.
And McNutt's going to be whistled for a penalty.
I think Nutter's going to go sit down for hooking on Myton, and he really had only one chance to keep Myton. No, it isn't. It's
Murray
Duval. And the penalty coming at the 4:55 mark, or 3:55 rather. Duval and McNutt both there, and neither of them had much of a chance as Myton broke cleanly between them and was marching in on Kolzig.
And the power play opportunity for the Americans, as soon as it's even right now, but the Portland Winterhawks will have a 45-second power play coming up as soon as the penalty to number 12, Jamie Hamish Black, is finished.
Their 5th of the night. It is 5-2 Tri-Cities. The Barnes line is on. Barnes with Lebrun, Jakes, and Dirksen. 4-on-4. For Portland, it's Fleetwood with Gray Eyes, Jorgenson, and Bayafor. Face-off won by the Americans behind their own net. Lebrun brings it around. They clear out in front of him. Here comes Lebrun across the blue line. Lebrun taking it coast to coast. Beats Jorgenson. Lebrun, a shot blocked by
another penalty.
And a penalty coming up as Lebrun is run hard into the boards. And Lebrun really taken down hard by the Winterhawks. That may be another big-time infraction.
Boy, he's really hurting down there, too. Sean Lebrun is really slow in getting up. And number 11...
Nope, 21.
21.
Jorgenson.
And I'll tell you what, Chad Bayafor got away with one, too. Holy cow, they really teamed up on him.
Really got smashed, and Jim Craig is out there to tend to him. And while he's doing that, we'll take time out on this Tri-Cities Radio Americans hockey broadcast.
Perfect 10, the official hairstylist of the Tri-City Americans. Perfect 10 features a full-service hair and nail care salon, carrying professional products for all your hair care needs. Perfect 10 also uses advanced techniques in perm, cut, color, and foil lightening. Perfect 10 is open Monday through Friday, 9 a.m. to 8 p.m., Saturdays 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. Perfect hair, perfect nails, a perfect you at Perfect 10.
Well, Jorgenson gets 2 minutes for slashing, and Tony, I'm surprised that that's all he got.
Exactly. This is really amazing because he really leveled Sean Lebrun out.
Lebrun skating it off. He's going to step off the ice now. And the Americans will have Kennedy with Barnes and Spenrath, a 4-on-3. Now Kennedy with the puck, goes right side to Jakes. Jakes in the slot. A shot blocked by Defoe. Comes back out across the blue line. Kennedy will race it down. Kennedy goes right to Jakes. 38 seconds in the 4-on-3. Right to Kennedy. Kennedy across the blue line. Drop pass for Spenrath. Spenrath right now to Jakes in the slot. Jakes takes it in. Goes out the right side. Wheels around. Jakes finding Kennedy. Top of the slot. Kennedy with it. Left to Jakes. Jakes a drive. Rebound. Covered up by Defoe. Good play by Byron Defoe under terrific pressure by the Tri-City Americans.
And mainly those two people that were working on that was Steve Jakes and Troy Kennedy. the two blue liners on this power play. And boy, they were really working very hard on that. That's good play by the Americans. Also, you got to give great goalie credit right there to Byron Defoe.
Well, Sean Lebrun's back on the ice. Out there skating around, checking to see if the left foot's still connected to the right part of the brain and vice versa. Apparently so.
He'll move out to his blue line position and move Troy Kennedy back down towards the face-off circle.
Now Barnes and Kennedy. Lebrun goes to the left. Jakes at the blue line. Face-off, Portland zone, left circle. Lebrun up front, Jakes. Jakes a drive, wide of the net. Rebound comes out front, kicked out front to Barnes. Barnes with it. Takes it out to the right point. Wheels around the blue line. Barnes going right to left. Barnes in the slot, a shot. Rebound as Defoe made the save again. Lebrun, 4 seconds left in the penalty. Lebrun shot. Comes all the way around, back into neutral ice. Stepping onto the ice quickly is Hamish Black, and he races off the ice as Troy Mick comes on. Shot back to the Portland blue line. Jakes beating by a 4. Jakes to the left side, centers for Kennedy. Kennedy knocked off the puck by Mitchell. Mitchell turns around, starts back for Portland, 3-on-1. Kraus is back for the Americans, left to Holland. Right, Mitchell, he shot it wide of the net. He just misfired as Jakes hammers him into the boards. Puck comes right back, or Barnes rather. Barnes took Mitchell to the boards, I mean big time hard. Kraus behind his own net. 10 seconds remaining in the penalty to the Americans, and then about 10 more seconds left in the penalty to Jorgenson. Puck comes to neutral ice. Barnes taken off by Bayafor. Duval stepping onto the play, and he ties up Middlestat. Gives a little cross-check in the ribs for friendship's sake. And the puck is shot into the Portland zone, or Portland box, rather. Whew. Yeah. It is quick here.
I'll tell you what, that was a nice little play that Duval did, the Middlestat right there as he stepped out. That's good defense, so that tells you right there, little things like that makes you think that the Tri-City Americans have their head completely in this game tonight.
Yep, Duval stepped out, said hi, Joey, and whacked him across the ribs, a good one. 17 seconds left in the penalty to Middlestat. There should be 3 minutes and 17 seconds left, but there aren't. Face-off, won by nobody, dumped into neutral ice. Shot into the Tri-City zone now. Backboard is Krauss. He goes left to Finca. Headman left to Nibs. Calvin Nibs finds Rennie. Rennie at the blue line. Rennie drops it off to Duval. Murray Duval back at the right wing now. Finds Krauss in the slot. Krauss dropping it down low. It'll go behind the Portland net. Duval racing after, working on Middlestat. Duval and Rennie. Out to Rennie on the right side. Duval with it. Plays it back up front to Krauss. Both teams at full strength. Down low Middlestat for Portland. Chops the pass out to the right side. Shot ahead to Myton. Myton up the right wing. Here comes Scott Myton. Myton with Clouston. Clouston in the slot, and Kolzig makes the save as Clouston tried to direct it to the net. Now Rennie fires a pass ahead to Nibs. Nibs dumping it into the Portland zone. All the way around behind the Portland net. Middlestat is there, and he gets hammered. And a whistle on the play as we have icing against the Americans. We'll take timeout on this Tri-Cities Radio Americans hockey broadcast.
Ruff's Giant Burgers.
Ruff's is not your ordinary fast food restaurant. As a matter of fact, nothing about Ruff's is ordinary.
Have a giant burger tonight.
100% all ground beef from the leanest choice cuts. Stacked with the highest quality mayonnaise, relish, pickles, onions, 3 slices of tomato. Topped with a 5.5-inch sesame seed bun. The biggest, the best, the Ruff Giant Burger.
Ruff's now at 2 locations on Clearwater and Kennewick and 1504 West Lewis and Pasco.
Face-off, Portland zone. Holland against Delcourt. Now Delcourt chased out, and in comes McNutt against Holland. Puck is down. And McNutt draws it back to Jakes in the right corner. Jakes behind the net. Starts to break out. Shoots it into neutral ice. It'll be icing again when Portland gets back for it. Touched there by Mike Moore. And they'll bring it back down and face it off again. The Americans, Tony, still sending one of the wings into the face-off circle first occasionally to try to get their best center lined up with Holland. And part of the thing there is they don't do it much on the road, but what happens is the crowd starts yelling at the linesman to drop the puck. And so he's in a hurry when that second guy steps in.
That's exactly right, and it generally works. And right now they're bringing it down right in front of Olaf Kolzig. This is a defensive face-off for the Americans.
Rennie and Holland on the face-off. Rennie wins it, goes down low into the corner. But Holland gets it, brings it up the right side to Moore. They redirect it right in front of the net. Leahy gets a whack at it. Bodies down, a big drive, more wide of the net right side. Back up front to Mitchell to right point. Mitchell dumping it down low for Mick. Mick overskates it, and Holland is there. Holland brings it out in the right corner. Jake's attached to him. Scherstenka goes in after the puck, but Mick takes it off his stick. Troy Mick tried to chop it up front. His shot is blocked by Spenrath. Now Kutowitz fires it the length of the ice. Racing back for it is Spenrath. Nope, the Portland goalie, Defoe, will come out and play it. And Moore almost wiped Defoe out. Now Defoe plays it up to Troy Mick. Mick loses the puck to Delcourt. Now Portland gets it back. Here comes Holland. Holland hooked down by McNutt, and McNutt will draw the penalty. They got Little, hooked him a little. Then he hooked him a little more. Then he hooked him a lot, and down he went.
Well, I think every guy in the Coliseum was looking at that as well, so there's not a whole bunch of complaining anybody can do. That was a good call by referee Brad Watson, a hooking penalty against Steve McNutt.
Exactly at 8 minutes of the period. And it'll be power play number 5 for the Winterhawks. They are 2 for 4 so far. Tri-City's 2 for 5. Face-off toward the Tri-City's edge of neutral ice between the blue and red lines. It'll be Kennedy against Hamish Black. Kennedy from Elkhorn, Manitoba. Troy Kennedy, draft pick of the Calgary Flames. Puck shot to the Tri-City's blue line, now fired in behind the net, but Kennedy's there. Kennedy plays it around to Rick Fry. Fry, big hit on Viafor, but Portland with the puck. Now Kutowitz there to shoot it into neutral ice, and it'll be icing again when Fleetwood gets back to touch it. Nope, washed off as
power play.
A power play was underway, and here comes Portland. Portland brings it up, left Viafor. And we got a whistle there as it goes across the blue line. Portland offside.
They had Jamie Hamish Black and Brian Gurley in ahead of the puck there. They'll bring it back out to the little red face-off dot just outside the Tri-City American blue line. Drop it there for a face-off.
Coming up tomorrow night, of course, the Tri-City Americans will be in Victoria to take on the Cougars. Seattle Supersonics on their East Coast swing. They will be in Philadelphia tomorrow night. You'll hear that game first on Tri-Cities Radio, AM 1340.
And then again, Victoria comes back on Friday the 10th for a 7:30 contest Friday night. And then Seattle T-Birds on Sunday night. All key divisional games for the Americans.
5-2 Tri-Cities leading the Winterhawks. Here at Tri-Cities Coliseum, face-off won by the Americans. Krauss ripping it back to neutral ice. Backboard for Portland is Brent Fleetwood. Fleetwood shoots a pass right side to Hamish Black. He dumps it into the Tri-City zone, but backboard is Kwiatkowski. Plays it along the boards. Viafor dumping it low for Holland. Back to Viafor. Snap pass right side, Hamish Black. Back to Viafor. Hamish Black one-times it, but it's wide of the net, and Kolzig jumps on a rebound. I don't really think that was a pass from Hamish Black as much as it was trying to get that rebound to come right back out in front of the net.
And it almost did, too, Kirk. As soon as it hit the back wall back there, it bounced straight back out. These boards now have been played. This is the 23rd game being played on these boards, and the boards are starting to give a little bit, and the players are finding those spots that will give them those rebounds right out in front of the net. That's, I believe, exactly what he was trying to do right there.
Well, they got the wave going here at Tri-Cities Coliseum now. You hear it go underneath our broadcast location. Holland against Rennie, Tri-City zone. 1 minute remaining in the penalty. McNutt. The waves on its third time around now. Holland wins the face-off, shoots it over the Tri-Cities net. Holland getting his own rebound. Left in the corner, back up front, Viafor. At the right point, Viafor, wrist shot. Leahy tried to redirect it in, and Kolzig makes the save. Now it's shot up into the crowd. And we'll have a face-off in the Tri-City zone. Great work by Kolzig there with a lot of help from Steve Jakes.
And that's exactly right. You've got to give credit right there to the defensive men that are down there in front helping Olaf Kolzig. You know, a power play not only consists of the goalie, but those 4 men that are standing out there trying to keep that puck from going inside that 4x6 area. And that right there was a team effort.
10:46 to go, second period. Americans lead 5-2 over the Portland Winterhawks. Byron Defoe looking on as the Winterhawks get set. 46 seconds left in the penalty to McNutt. Rennie against Holland. Tri-City zone left circle. Rennie wins the draw. Kraus is there, fires it off the boards. Glove by Biofor. Rennie dives in the middle of it, and Jakes is there to slap it into the Portland zone. Winterhawks race back for it. Biofor, or Hamish Black rather, back behind his own net. Hamish Black brings it up right in front of his net, right up the middle on the breakout. Goes to the left wing, and it's smothered by Nibs. Calvin Nibs firing it back to the Portland zone.
Great play by Calvin Nibs.
Back for it is Biofor this time. Chad Biofor, young man out of Cranbrook, BC. Shot back to the blue line, and Jakes rips it back into the Portland zone and out of play. Up into the crowd.
Well, you've got to give credit to Jakes, Rennie, Calvin Nibs, all these guys that are out there playing, Sean Lebrun, everybody out there playing on this hockey team right now currently. Great defense. That's why the Americans are leading 5-2 right now over the Portland Winterhawks. One of the fastest and one of the best scoring teams in all the league. They're only second currently right now to Swift Current as far as goals scored.
Well, they've kept Portland out of that transition game.
That's exactly right.
And if you let Portland fly up and down the ice, it is going to be a real long night. But you can frustrate them, and that's what's happened. Face-off won by Portland now. Back in their own zone, Middlestat. Outlet pass right side, Mitchell. Mitchell across the red line and rips one. On goal, Kolzig blocks it. Dirksen there to sweep it away. Fires it underneath low. McNutt's back on the ice as Dirksen takes a chop at it. Gets around to Lebrun, taken off his stick by Clouston. Sean Clouston tried to center. Big hit by McNutt as he upends Anchikoski. Headman pass to Barnes, but it's offside. Boy, that took some guts to call that one offside. Barnes on what looked like a clean breakaway.
Just had gotten it over the red line on this side towards Olaf Kolzig's end, the Tri-City zone, and as soon as it passed over, it's a two-line offside pass, and that's exactly what they called it from back here inside the blue line.
Faceoff will come inside the Tri-City's blue line. It is Barnes against Sean Clouston. Face-off won by Clouston. Middlestat shoots it in right of the net. Comes out to Kutowitz along the right wing. Lebrun and Kutowitz tie up with Anchikoski. Knocked loose, but stolen back by the Winterhawks. Now stolen by Lebrun. Lebrun headman to Barnes. Middlestat falls all over the puck. Lebrun and Kennedy slap it away from him. Kennedy right side. Kennedy backhands it to Barnes. Down low, Kennedy. Out front now to Kutowitz. Should have had an offside call there. Puck goes in low. Down behind the Portland net. Lebrun kicks it out to Kennedy. Kennedy to Barnes in the slot. Swept away by Portland. Their pass hits Kutowitz in the backside. Taken off his backside by Clouston. Clouston a drive wide of the net. Comes back along the right wing. Back out front now to Black. Terry Black takes it down low. Big hit there by Dirksen. Puck at the right of the net. And Kolzig plays it off the glass. Back into neutral ice. Back forward is Portland. Biofor shoots a pass the length of the ice. It'll be icing when Kutowitz gets to it. And with icing the call, we'll be back on this Tri-Cities Radio Americans hockey broadcast.
Perfect 10, the official hairstylist of the Tri-City Americans. Perfect 10 features a full-service hair and nail care salon, carrying professional products for all your hair care needs. Perfect 10 also uses advanced techniques in perm, cut, color, and foil lightening. Perfect 10 is open Monday through Friday, 9 a.m. to 8 p.m., Saturdays 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. Perfect hair, perfect nails, a perfect you at Perfect 10.
Back at Tri-Cities Coliseum, Kirk Williamson along with Tony Ott. It'll be Robertson against Hamish Black. Portland zone left circle. Right in front of the Tri-Cities radio rink board. Kevin Robertson, a 16-year-old, played for the Wanda Fuca Whalers last year. Now he's asked to leave the circle, and in will come Greg Delcourt. That means Robertson will go to the right wing, Spenrath to the left. Again against James Hamish Black. Face-off, won by Portland. Back behind the net, Jorgenson. Kevin Jorgenson bringing it up the left wing now. Has to hustle to get ahead of Robertson. Gets a pass right to Hamish Black, and it's slapped into the Tri-City zone. But Kraus there behind the net. Taken away from him by Corley. Corley shot blocked by Kolzig. They center it again. It's chopped away by the Americans into the left corner. Delcourt racing after it. Out front, Viafor drives it to the right side of the net. Back out front, Jorgenson a shot. Rebound, Kolzig. Kolzig covers up a penalty. Another shot left of the net. Back out front, Viafor.
That's going against the Americans.
Viafor, his shot wide of the net right. Spenrath chopping at it. It's tied up along the boards. As Jorgenson and Spenrath having a spirited discussion down there along the right wing boards in the Tri-City zone.
Well, that would be the best thing for the Tri-City Americans to do, is to get one of the Portland players to start throwing some punches so that it would equal out the teams in the penalty box.
Yeah, but I don't think that's going to happen.
No, I don't think so either. It looks like Mr. Krauss is going to go take a chair. And it looks like they're pointing to a Portland Winterhawk as well.
Well, now Spenrath comes over toward the... well, now wait a minute.
2 Americans.
Ooh.
And 1 Portland Winterhawk.
Kraus, Spenrath, Jorgenson, and that all happens at the 12:02 mark. And we'll let Tom Lightened give you the word on that in just momentarily, as soon as they figure it out.
Dennis Holland down there trying to do some discussion on why his player has to go sit down.
Well, the penalty to Kraus will be the one that will create the...
Portland Winterhawks, number 21, Kevin Jorgenson, 2 minutes for roughing. For the Tri-City Americans, number 27, that's Greg Spenrath, 2 minutes for roughing. For the Tri-City Americans, number 2, Rob Kraus, 2 minutes for cross-checking. Those 3 penalties at the 12:02 mark.
Thanks to Tom Lightened for the announcement. I'll tell you, he just does a marvelous job. Tony, he's done a tremendous job for the Americans fans this year.
Yes, he certainly has.
Well, the penalty will result in a 5-on-4 power play for the Winterhawks. Now, Watson is over having a word with Brian Shaw, a rather animated and not real happy Brian Shaw. Would that be a fair statement?
That's a pretty good way to put that, Kurt. Couldn't have thought a better way to do it myself.
Waving his hands around, shaking his head, looking at referee Watson like he's sort of a bug. Now Watson goes over for a word with John Albert, and he may very well be warning the benches that we're just not going to have a whole lot of extra activity tonight.
This makes the Winterhawks 6th power play.
Yep. Americans have had 5. Americans 2 for 5, Portland 2 for 5 going into this one. And Watson's still over there having a word with John Albert. Coming up on Tri-Cities Radio on Thursday night on the next edition of Talk Sports Tri-Cities. I'm looking forward to this one, Tony. We have the wildlife agent, John McIntosh. Been around Tri-Cities for a good long time. And John, probably one of the more candid wildlife agents you'll find around. Now Watson going over, stepping into the officials box to have a word with the official scorer down there. That's unusual. I don't know that I've ever...
I'm not real sure, Kirk, exactly why he stepped in there. I think they're going to do some clarifications, and I think that they're going to make a phone call. We'll get a public announcement on this exactly.
Yeah, the phones are ringing. The fans are not happy.
No.
And waiting. We'll get that for you as soon as we figure it out. It is a power play. Faceoff will go to the right circle. Rennie and Holland. Portland with it. Viafor, top of the slot. Taken away from him by Rennie. Viafor gets it back, takes a shot. Kennedy knocks it loose. Back into the Portland zone. The Americans killing off another penalty here as Hamish Black wheels back to his own zone behind the net. Hamish Black starts out. Troy Kennedy eyes up with him as he comes across the red line to the right side. Hamish Black fires it in left of the Tri-Cities net. Rebound comes right out to the slot. Rennie there. Now Kennedy along the right wing. Shoots it right off the referee and back into neutral ice. Viafor and Jakes, or Hamish Black and Jakes tie up. And they're going to have a face-off just outside the blue line. The referee finally decided that he had interfered with the play.
I saw Troy Mick, number 22, talking with Jamie Hamish Black down there, telling him exactly what he should be doing. So look for those two to be doing a little bit of hanky-panky with the puck.
Holland and Rennie on the face-off. Shot in right of the Tri-Cities net.
There it was.
Chopped out of there by Kutowicz. Back for it is Hamish Black. Back into his own zone. James Hamish Black with Viafor, the defense pair. Viafor, or Hamish Black, right side. His pass stolen by Rennie at neutral ice. Viafor gets it, and he brings it up. Drives it in left of the net. Rebound comes out. Holland over, skates it left side. They don't want to leave Holland loose. Comes out to Hamish Black. Hamish Black from Viafor. Shot. Kolzig made the block, and it's taken off as Leahy had him point blank, but couldn't do anything with it. Back up front now. Viafor. His pass slapped away by Rennie and Kennedy. Now Rennie will chase it into the slot and direct it away from Viafor. Holland trying to drive it in. Here comes Holland walking in. Holland to the right side, shoots across the slot, and Kosak pokes it away. Kennedy rips it to length of the ice. Back to the Portland zone. What tremendous defensive play by the Americans.
And boy, the Tri-City fans love it.
Here's Viafor with the puck. Feeds it off to the right side now. Hamish Black takes it up to the Tri-Cities blue line. A drive, and it's way up into the crowd. That one almost landed on top of the what do you call that?
Cross beams around the Coliseum. That went down into the concourse area. That dropped right over the double T section.
Some guy standing down here with a cup of coffee. 6:16 to go. Second period. Americans 5, Winterhawks 2. 18 seconds left in the penalty to Kraus.
Some incredibly good hockey here tonight. Boy, oh boy.
Greg Delcourt will be our guest in the penalty box show tonight. Young man from Kelowna, BC. Puck shot down the slot. Portland can't do anything with it. Goes left of the net. Kutowicz upending his man. That's number 8, Myton. Myton goes down hard, and the puck taken by the Americans. 2 seconds left in the penalty. They shoot it to neutral ice. Middlestat losing it. Kraus steps onto the ice. Now he'll come off in a hurry as Lebrun comes on. The Lebrun-Barnes line now. As Portland brings it up, Clouston up the left wing. Clouston with it. Left of the net. Pulls up short. Along the left wing. Back up front now to Middlestat. Middlestat fires it down low. Fleetwood backhand shot. Goes up onto Kolzig's shoulder. And Kolzig will cover it up. And Clouston now and Duval face off down behind the net along with Scherstenka. Now Scherstenka looking at Myton like, okay.
Well, that was an incredible play by Olaf Kolzig as you hear the crowd going, "Ole, ole." Clouston did a great little backhand, caught Olaf Kolzig in the hand, went up over top of his right shoulder and kind of just sat there like the Ever-Ready battery, you might say.
That's scary.
And it went back behind him, and he was lucky enough to just jump on that thing and freeze it. That could cost some gray hairs on a young man like Olaf Kolzig.
5:35 to go, second period. 5-2 Americans. Stu Barnes faced off with Clouston. Puck shot back to the point. Left side, Middlestat. Middlestat shot blocked by Kolzig. And Lebrun there for the Americans. Headman pass to Duval. Here comes Tri-Cities. Duval and Barnes broken up by Myton. Portland with it. They go left to Middlestat. Barnes all over him. There's a little shot for you, Joey. Left side, Clouston, and a two-line pass. Called against the Winterhawks as they try to break in. Notice those new pucks the Americans are using, Tony. We talked about the big white background made that puck nearly impossible to see when it was sliding along the ice. They have changed it now, and the design has just outlined it white. Basically 4 little white lines on the top side of the puck. But it turned out it wasn't the goalies that hated it the most, it was the defensemen. They said when it came at them up in the air, they were losing it in the lights and in the white background up in the Coliseum. Barnes on the face-off with Hamish Black at the Portland blue line. Both teams at full strength. 5:18 to play, second period. Now Hamish Black gets excused, and Corley steps in. Brian Corley out of Sardis, BC. Face-off won by Barnes. Barnes goes left to Lebrun, and Lebrun can't quite get the stick on it. Goes underneath low, right to Barnes. Barnes drops it low for Kennedy. Kennedy in the right corner. Centers for Turan Sandwith. Sandwith overskates it. Portland with it. Here come the Winterhawks up the left wing. Terry Black. Black with the puck. Tries to center it. Shoots it across wide of the Tri-Cities net. Now to Barnes. Goes right to his stick like glue. Puck shot loose at center ice. Back into the Tri-Cities zone. Shot away from Corley. Corley with it. Feeds it right side for Hamish Black. Krauss will hammer Hamish Black. Down low, Barnes puts a hit there on Terry Black. Comes up to Kennedy. Kennedy and Lebrun, 2-on-2. Lebrun will take it off the boards. No, shot back to neutralize Holland there. But Kennedy and Turan Sandwith back for the Americans now as they wheel back into their own zone. Kennedy, stolen by Holland in the slot. Mick, shot blocked by Kolzig. Sandwith fires it around left to Kennedy. Kennedy ahead to the right point. Shot back in by Portland. The Americans, Kennedy just trying to get it out of there. He does, and there's Lebrun. Shot back in by Portland. Mick at the left side. Fires it in right of the Tri-Cities net. Leahy races after it. Sandwith puts a hit on him, and now Barnes just crushed him against the boards. The Americans fire it back out to neutral ice. Middlestat back for it. Boy, I tell you, Stu Barnes is really throwing his body around tonight.
He certainly is.
Leahy races in right of the net. Kraus lines him up. Bang. Down low. Kraus and Leahy as they scramble for the puck. Now comes back out front. A drive taken there by Mitchell. Deflected right of the net. Middlestat's drive. Blocked by Kolzig. Penalty coming up is Kolzig. Now the whistle as the play stops in front of the net.
And I want to tell you something right there. They're going to whistle Rob Kraus for the penalty for tripping, but I'll guarantee you this. Greg Spenrath got away with something right there as he just completely elevated Dennis Holland into the net. Then Dennis was trying to get up, and he gave him a little piece of lumber on the side of his jersey there as well to put him back down. Greg Spenrath is walking around. He's going up to Olaf Kolzig right now and saying, yeah, took care of you, buddy.
Yeah, you bet.
Checking in 2 minutes for tripping at 16.
Whoa, double minors, cross-checking, out and tripping.
There's 3:38 remaining in the second period. This is a 4-minute penalty. That means there'll be about a 22-second power play for the Portland Winterhawks to begin that third period. This is a major penalty the Americans must kill.
Portland can score twice on this power play. Face-off, won by Portland. Right side, they shoot a pass left. Hamish Black, a drive. Kolzig kicks it out front, and Nibs is there to slap it the length of the ice. Defoe comes out. He wants to keep the puck in play at the other end. Redirected right side to Mick. Mick wheels back with it. Feeds a pass left side to Biafor. Biafor across the blue line. Taken away from him by Rennie. Gets it right back. Back up front, Hamish Black. James Hamish Black looks in from the blue line. Goes on the right side now to Mick. Back to Hamish Black. Hamish Black with it. Goes right to Troy Mick. Goes left now to Biafor. Across the slot. Biafor at the left wing. Broken up by the Americans. Here comes Jakes. Slides it left for Nibs. Nibs will get to it first. No, Nibs gets slapped down. But Nibs gets it back for the Americans. Airs it into the Portland zone. Right in the net, Rennie chasing it after it. Slides in on goal, but Mick there for the Winterhawks. They got a minute of it killed as Mick comes up the left wing. Mick will be taken down by Jakes. Who is he ever? As Delcourt slaps it back to the left point. Holland there to stop it. Here comes Holland with the puck. Holland drops it off left side for Mitchell. Mitchell down low. Leahy. Leahy evades a sweep check from Jakes. They get it in front. A shot once, and Kolzig stoned him. Kolzig makes the save. Where did he come from?
Highlight film on that one. Olaf Kolzig is playing out of his mind tonight. What a great save. And he's getting the stick slaps from all of his players, and deservedly so.
Well, you hear the crowd. What a job by Olaf Kolzig.
Oh, is he playing some good goal tonight?
2:22 remaining in the second period. I mean, Kolzig has flat stoned Portland in this period. Killed off some big penalties. Barnes against Clouston. Clouston for Portland with it. Goes on the right side now to Mitchell. Mitchell shot blocked by Kolzig behind the net. And Cudowitz plays it out to Barnes. Barnes tried to chop it loose. Portland with it. Whistle. Played off a glove. And we'll have a face-off in the Tri-City zone.
Kirk, how many shots were taken at Olaf Kolzig right there? There must have been 6 shots on him. Yep. He was down on his stomach. The only thing he had left to use any mobility was his stick. And he happened to put it right up there as Troy Mick decided to take a shot and was just stone cold right there. Oh, good. He's playing highlight film material tonight.
Oh, yeah, you bet. May explain why he's the number 4 ranked goalie in of all draft-eligible goalies in North America. Mitchell with it. Goes left now to Terry Black. Black goes on the right side. to Fleetwood. Taken away from him by the Americans. Kennedy. Headman to Barnes. Barnes a breakaway. Barnes left side. Shoots! And Defoe makes the save. Comes back to neutral ice. Kennedy there for Tri-Cities. The Americans putting on some pressure now. Kutowitz firing it in. Defoe makes the save on the big shot from center ice. Barnes crushes Black against the boards, but Black there to take the puck away. Minute 41 to play in the period. Portland still on the power play. They've killed off one of those minor penalties against Krauss. Portland with it. Myton has it knocked away by TK. TK slides it back into the Portland zone. Defoe plays it ahead along the left wing to Myton. Scott Myton. Headman pass left to Black. To Clouston. The Americans break it up again. Here's Delcourt, 2-on-2. Delcourt with Spinrath up the right wing. Delcourt just offended. He got tripped, but will get no whistle as he got around Mitchell. Puck comes up the left wing now. Portland with it. Cross ice right. Fleetwood. Brent Fleetwood up the right side. Big hit on him by Kutowitz, and he tried to put his stick in Kutowitz's face. Shot back into neutral ice. Minute to play in the period. Now Clouston loses it to Delcourt. And Dirksen taking it along the left wing. Hamish Black there, and the puck shot back to neutral ice. Biafor tees it up. Fires it in left of the Tri-Cities net. It rides the dasherboard all the way around right. Now Holland there to keep it in play. Right to Mick, to Holland. And Dirksen takes Holland out of the play. Devin Dirksen doing a good job. Right now to Leahy. Leahy left of the net. Slides it up front. Mick, his shot. Wide of the net and is chopped away by Dirksen again. Out to Hamish Black. Left of the net. Puck glove by Kolzig. And holy!
And let me tell you what, folks, you are seeing probably the best penalty killing display that the Americans have put on all season. Right there. That is absolutely the best penalty killing I've seen. That is excellent. These guys are playing the way they should be playing.
And they ought to be screaming Ole, and then they ought to be screaming Deli, and then they ought to be screaming Durkee, you bet. Oh, because they've all done a tremendous job.
They're doubling up in the corners. They're swiping the puck. They're sweep checking. These guys are doing everything correct. Fundamentally sound.
Rennie against Holland. Holland drives it back up front now to Hamish Black. Hamish Black with it. Slides it right by a 41 times it. Kolzig makes the save. Again. Rennie with the puck. Shoots it back to neutral ice. 15 seconds by a 4. Feeds it right side. Tried to get it to Troy Mick. Mick overskates it. Jakes is there. Headman pass. Jakes to Nibs. Nibs when I want to drive. Blocked by Defoe. Rebound comes out to Leahy. 4 seconds remaining. Leahy's shot goes in left of the net. And that's the end of the period. What a display by the Tri-City Americans.
Best period of hockey all season right there.
At the end of the period, the score, Americans 5, Winterhawks 2. We'll be back on this Tri-Cities Radio Americans hockey broadcast. Well, there are 22 seconds remaining in the penalty to Rob Krauss at the end of the second period. No scoring in that period, which really shows you, Tony, not the kind of defensive job the Americans did on the Portland Winterhawks. They killed off, well, they killed off a ton of penalties.
That's exactly right, and they're going to have to continue that defensive struggle through this next period because Dennis Holland has not really been an effort so far this game. This third period face-off sponsored by Goodyear Certified Auto Service Centers with 5 locations conveniently located throughout the Tri-City area.
Face-off will have Rennie against Holland as we get the period underway. 20 minutes to play. Americans lead 5-2. Kutowitz with the draw, and he shoots it right into the crowd. Well, that one actually wound up back on the ice, but I think a fan tossed it back on the ice. And
coming into tonight's
turns up the left wing, looks for Lebrun. Headman pass to Lebrun. He can't quite get to it. Biafor there. Lebrun buried him. Ooh, Lebrun hit him hard. Down low, the Winterhawks bring it off the left wing. Clouston with it. Shoots a cross ice pass right to Fleetwood. Clouston gets it back. Clouston takes it to the right wing. Sherstenka on him. Sherstenka goes down as the puck goes into the corner. Now Lebrun and Sherstenka digging at the puck with Myton. Now the puck's loose. Barnes steals it away. Barnes with it at the right wing. Ahead to Lebrun. Shot back in by Portland. Back into the Tri-City zone. Kraus touches it behind the net. Kraus outlet pass for Barnes, and Barnes can't get to it. It'll be icing when the Winterhawks get to it. And we have icing to take it back to the Tri-City zone. 5-2 the score. Americans leading the Winterhawks Coming up tomorrow night on AM 1340 will be first the Seattle Supersonics in Philly after they drop a 10-point decision to the Nets tonight in New Jersey.
Ouch.
Yeah, he's right. And then tomorrow night, Seattle and Philly, and then the Americans at Victoria.
And a terrific game that'll be up there in Victoria. Whew.
Face-off, right circle, Tri-City zone. Hamish Black against Barnes. Puck's down. Actually, it was against Rennie, and Rennie wins the draw. Dirksen behind the net. Outlet pass right side to Rennie. Gets it up along the boards left to Delcourt. Delcourt firing it in to the Portland zone. And they'll bring it back outside the blue line. A two-line pass called against the Americans as Spenrath did finally get his stick onto the puck in the Portland zone.
You know, Kirk, you don't have to ask too many questions on if the Portland Winterhawks were in that locker room and got any kind of inspiration from Brian Shaw. Brian Shaw is a leader. He may not say a lot, but his presence behind that bench is enough to spark this Portland team. You watch Portland to see if they come out smoking this third period.
McNutt against Hamish Black. Hamish Black takes it in, shoots wide of the net. Puck comes up to the right point. Mitchell with it. Drops it down low. The Americans steal it back. Dirksen behind the net. Comes out to Delcourt. Delcourt digs at it. The Winterhawks get it back. They shoot it in the Tri-City zone, but Dirksen steals it away. Dirksen dumping it in left of the net, and Dirksen buries Corley. Puck goes into the left corner. Delcourt racing it after it. Losing it to Hamish Black around behind his net. James Hamish Black brings it up the left side now. Hamish Black fires an outlet pass left to Black. Terry Black at center ice. Delcourt and Dirksen knock him off the puck. It goes to Spenrath left. Spenrath dumping it into the Portland zone. Now McNutt with it. McNutt tries to get it on his stick on the left wing. Drops it down low for Spenrath. Taken away from him by Roy Mitchell. Mitchell outlet pass to Mick. Jakes up in Mick. And Spenrath gets it down to Jakes. Jakes fires it down to Delcourt. Puck goes in the air in the slot. Shot back into the Tri-City zone. Racing after it is Kraus. If that has enough legs, it'll be icing against Portland. No, they rule it's not icing. And Kolzig comes out to play it. Back to the point. By a four. Jakes. Jakes right with Duval. Duval breaking into the Portland zone. Duval takes a big hit down low and loses the puck there to Mike Moore. Puck shot up the left wing, but the Americans keep it in play. Jakes now firing it in. It hits Duval, and Rennie has it. Rennie tries to sweep it to Duval and can't do it. Now it goes down low. Duval gets around by for a shot. Blocked by Dave Foe. A little wrist shot taken by Duval. Kept in play by Calvin Nibs. Portland with it. Holland starts around behind his own net. Right to left. Holland comes out, airs it into neutral ice. Back for it, Kraus and Kutowitz taken away from them by Gray Eyes. Gray Eyes starts in on Kolzig, and Kolzig makes his stick save. Puck comes out to Rennie. Shot back to neutral ice. Winterhawks get sticks on it, goes against the glass. Back into the Portland zone. Wheeling back for it quickly, Roy Mitchell. Mitchell starts up the right wing. Mitchell gets around Barnes, shoots a pass into the Tri-City zone. Dirksen there to break it up. Winterhawks with it. Gray Eyes, he loses it, but keeps it in play. Shot into the Tri-City zone. Comes up left. Lebrun to Barnes. Barnes on Middlestat. Barnes with Lebrun. Barnes loses it to Middlestat. Joey Middlestat up the right wing now. And the net's dislodged as Lebrun is run into the net by Mitchell.
Roy Mitchell and Sean Lebrun both took out the net down there, knocked it off its moorings, as well as Byron Defoe. He got caught right in the middle of those two guys.
That's not a comfortable place to be.
Well, he's probably the most safest one. He's got all the pads on.
Well, that's true, too. 5-2, Americans leading the Portland Winterhawks into the third period. All the scoring done in the first tonight.
And that shows great defense, really does, by the Americans.
Victoria's at Kamloops tonight, and we'll be seeing if we can get a score for you coming up on that game. That should be a big one. Face-off won by the Winterhawks in their zone. Middlestat with it. Feeds it out right side to Mitchell. Mitchell goes straight up the center to Clouston. Clouston can't handle a pass. Dirksen there to knock it away. But the Winterhawks come racing on. Middlestat firing it into the Tri-City zone. Kolzig leaves it there for Kutowitz. Kutowitz to start the breakout for Tri-Cities. Leaves it behind the net. Lebrun fakes his way through. Now Kutowitz starts left, goes right, pulls up again. Now Kutowitz outlet pass left. Stolen by the Winterhawks. Mitchell shoots it into the slot, but Dirksen slaps it away. Puck shot around to the right wing. Here comes Kennedy up the right wing. Headman pass for Barnes. Barnes beating Middlestat. Stu Barnes takes it in, takes the backhand shot. Defoe blocks it. Barnes there to steal it back. Taken off his stick by Sean Clouston. Clouston goes in, faces up with Krauss. Clouston to the left wing. Kraus bangs him into the boards. Puck loose. Shot away by the Winterhawks. Myton tries to wrist it. Lebrun breaks up the play. Puck goes down low. Kennedy chases Clouston, and Kraus hit by Myton. There's a mismatch for you. As Lebrun has the puck in the right corner. Lebrun with it to Kraus. Kraus around the right corner, fires it back into the Portland zone. Myton 5'9", 170 pounds. Lebrun 6'2", 195, and then some. As Portland brings it back across the zone. Now Kraus intercepts the pass, finds Barnes at the red line. Barnes wheels back into his own zone, stripped by Hamish Black. Hamish Black centers it, but tries there for the Americans. Puck goes down to Terry Black in the right corner. Racing after it is Corley. Corley takes a stick from Krauss, and Krauss will get called for slash. Whoa.
Boy, was that a big one, too.
That was call. I think we may have a double minor again against Rob Krauss.
Boy, that was a really vicious slash Rob Krauss gave to number 17, Brian Gurley.
And it is roughing and a slash against Rob Krauss. The second double minor against Krauss, and it comes at the 6:06 mark.
All right.
The Americans can ill afford that kind of noise.
That's exactly right. Good, tough, strong defense right now. Now, the Americans have already killed some pretty big penalties already tonight. They've already killed off a 4-minute one. The guys out there know how to do it. They can go out and get it done. This is where it's called third period time. Gut it up and get it going.
This will be the 8th and 9th power plays for the Winterhawks on the 2 minor penalties, back-to-back on Rob Krauss. Puck shot in there, blocked by Kolzig. Weak shot by Hamish Black, and Kolzig just covers it up. 13:48 to play in the period in the hockey game. 5-2 Tri-Cities. So far, Dennis Holland has been held.
1 assist, I believe.
Yep. Portland's goals came from Biofor, from Myton and Kennedy, or Myton and Leahy, and Hamish Black from Holland. Now Dennis Holland excused, along with Rennie, and it'll be Leahy against Nibs. They're former teammates at Lethbridge. Faceoff, kicked loose by Nibs, and is shot back into neutral ice. Now Rennie, if he can outrace his man, Rennie tries to get ahead of Hamish Black, and we have a penalty. Holding.
You bet.
Against Portland. And it will be by a 4, I believe.
Yep. Well, that wipes out one of the penalties that has been assessed against Rob Krauss.
Coming at the 6:22 mark.
They'll skate Stu Barnes time now, 4-on-4.
Call it the Barnes-Aramo time. 3:44 remaining in the penalties to Kraus. 2 minutes in the penalty to Biofor. So Americans will have another minute 44, that 4-minute double minor to kill off. Face-off just outside the Portland zone. Barnes with Kennedy and
2 minutes for holding.
Jakes. Portland with it. Holland across the red line. Holland to the blue line, feeds a pass left and a whistle as Hamish Black went racing in offside.
You know, Kirk, these are the type of penalties that coaches absolutely hate. Now, Brian Shaw had a 4-minute 5-on-4 against the Americans. He's down 5-2, and he's got a player that goes out and does a holding penalty that wipes out at least 2 minutes of the penalty. The Americans have 1 minute and 44 seconds. Great thing for the Americans. Terrible for Portland.
Well, on the other side of that coin, Rennie walks in clean if they don't hold him. And Rennie walks in on Defoe, and I think he can beat Defoe one-on-one.
Oh, there's no doubt about that.
Hamish Black with the puck for Portland, gets it to Mitchell. Right side to Holland. Holland at the blue line. And Rennie there to drop it away. Back into neutral ice. Holland goes left. Hamish Black. Kolzig stopped 21 shots in that second period. And this one shot in. Kolzig will leave it for Jakes. Now Kutowitz behind the net. Kutowitz gets it out to Jakes on the right wing. Comes out to the point. Hamish Black, loose puck in front of the net, and Kolzig falls on top of it. Boy, is he hot. Now, We have another Winterhawk taken down. That's Holland, and it looks like Jakes might have put a little pop a lot across the wrist.
Do you think Kirk is watching Dennis Holland? I've been kind of keeping an eye on him in this third period. I notice he's got a lot more legs going for him right now than probably a lot of the other players. Do you think that he kind of just holds up and does maybe a 90% run through the first 2 periods? Then come the third period, he lets the Jets go when everybody else is kind of tired out.
I don't know. He's definitely been incredible in the third period.
He seems to have a little more extra energy there. He likes Stu Barnes. Great with a lot of energy late in the third period.
Barnes against Clouston. Barnes wins the draw. Duval behind the net for the Americans. Murray Duval will start the outlet now. Duval will bring it out himself. Carries the puck up the slot. Duval across the blue line. Headman pass for Barnes. Barnes in the slot. He's held up. Takes the shot. Scores! Barnes! What a pass to Stu Barnes from Murray Duval.
Incredible pass. Murray Duval just hit it on a string. Clear across the rink from left to right, and that was a beautiful pass. Hit Stu Barnes full stride. He goes right in on Byron Defoe and does a nice little backhand right through the 5-hole into the net, and the Americans take a 6-2 lead.
And that comes at the 7:19 mark. Face-off won by the Winterhawks. Americans leading 6-2. Dirksen, headman to Barnes. Barnes walks in. Barnes scores! Stu Barnes from Dirksen. And this one may hit the record book. It comes at the 7:31 mark. Just 12 seconds apart. I think the fans here can count 7, Tony, don't you?
That's great.
What a beautiful pass by Devin Dirksen. The Americans have scored twice in 4-on-4 time. 12:29 to play. The penalties continue to tick down against Kraus and Faceoff. Since the teams are at equal strength, Barnes winning the draw again, but Portland stealing it back. Now Dirksen there. Dirksen hits Kennedy. Here comes Kennedy across the blue line. TK steps around the defender, finds Dirksen, goes right side Duval. Duval a drive! It went beside the net. Kennedy goes down low for it. Kennedy brings it up front to Dirksen. Dirksen shot smothered up front by Hicks. Jason Hicks as it's centered by the Winterhawks. Shot back into neutral ice. Hicks picked up by Portland. They've had him listed since he was a 12-year-old. And he's been brought up to Portland from Calgary. You can hear him count. Yeah, they can count to 7. Puck into neutral ice. 11.5 minutes to play. With the puck, Fleetwood shoots on goal. Kolzig stops it. Fires it out. Knocked down by Middlestat. Offside. Middlestat. Offside. You find it?
Kirk, I've got the WHL record here. The fastest 2 goals scored by individual in the WHL. There's been 3 people that have done it in 5 seconds.
Whoa! Who are they?
Wayne Babbage, Bob Young, and Nels Jacobson, dating from 76 back to 68.
Well, Barnesy does it in 12. That ain't bad.
And those Wayne Babbage did it on November 30th, 76. He was a former Portland Winterhawk.
5 seconds remaining in the penalty to Faceoff. Then it will be a minute and 45 seconds roughly. Power play for the Winterhawks. They're 9th of the game. Mick fans at it. Puck's into the Portland zone. Shot around behind the net to Mick. He loses it, but Leahy comes up with it. Back to Mick. Mick around behind his own net. Leaves it for Hamish Black. Hamish Black bringing it up for the Winterhawks. 5-on-4 now. Minute 28 left in the Portland power play. Hamish Black right of the net. Tries to center. Kolzig bats it away. Puck's loose and shot out of there by the Americans. Fired back into the Portland zone. Rennie races after it. Right in Defoe's face. Now Rennie will get it. Rennie will get it from Leahy. Now Faceoff to bring it up. Chad Faceoff feeds a pass left side to Holland, but it's chopped out of play by the Americans. Minute 2 remaining in the double minor to Kraus. I'll tell you what, the Americans have done an incredible job of killing penalties in this game.
They sure have, and they've taken advantage of sloppy play by Portland as well. That's kind of reverse side, because most teams that are of any caliber whatsoever take advantage of the Tri-City Americans when they have sloppy play. It's a nice change to see that for the Americans tonight.
Ken Hodge must be home listening to Dean Broman's broadcast, tearing his hair out tonight. He ain't got a whole lot to lose either. Hodge waiting the arrival of his first child, as apparently the kid was due on Sunday. So Ken Hodge home waiting for the blessed event, and General Manager Brian Shaw behind the bench tonight as the Americans shoot the puck back into neutral ice. Defoe comes out for it, fires a pass right to Bayafor. Bayafor for the Winterhawks. Shoots it to Leahy. Leahy to the blue line. Shoots it in left. Holland on Kolzig. Holland shoots. Kolzig fired him. Kolzig came up big again on Holland. And Bayafor overskates the puck back to neutral ice. Holy cow, what a save by Kolzig on Portland's big gun. And you hear him yell at Ole Ole again as Hamish Black brings it up. Hamish Black taken off the play by Kutowitz. Delcourt shoots it back. Oops, Bayafor there in the slot. Bayafor, Black to Mick. Mick right side, shoots it down low. Stolen by Jakes. Jakes brings it up. Kraus in the play. They shoot it ahead to Kraus. Here comes Kraus. Kraus left side. Neat pass intended for Jakes, racing it on Defoe, but he can't do anything with it. Now back to neutral ice. Holland has it chopped away from him by Dirksen, but it's dropped back. Here comes Portland Mitchell across the blue line offside Portland.
I want to tell you something, Kirk. What we've just seen right here now is the Americans have successfully killed 2 4-minute major penalties against the Portland Winterhawks. This one, I have to say, is a backbreaker against the Winterhawks. That was a very successful penalty-killing group out there. That was very good.
9:36 to go in the period. Barnes has scored twice. Neither of them will go as power play goals. They both came with 4-on-4. As we get out the Norman Greenbaum records again.
It goes back to that holding penalty now that that was set in there. Boy, that's a killer.
McNutt against Jason Hicks on the faceoff. Now Kwiatkowski slides right into the linesman. He and Gray Eyes scramble for position. Faceoff won by McNutt. Americans with it back in their own zone. Dirksen plays it off the boards left to Robertson. Here comes Kevin Robertson across the red line. Has it stripped away from him by Portland, but knocked back into neutral ice. Dirksen there for Tri-Cities. Dirksen goes right. Back forward is Duval. Murray Duval, whoops, fanned on it. Gray Eyes on top of him, but Dirksen there to break up the play right in front of the slot. Comes back out to the right point. Mitchell takes a whack at it. McNutt chasing in on Thudium, and Calvin Thudium has the puck, drops it back for Robertson. Goes back to Dirksen instead along the boards. He plays it ahead to Robertson. Robertson fires it into the Portland zone. Defoe broken up by Kwiatkowski. Now McNutt with it on his stick, center for Robertson. Robertson can't get to it, and Thudium has it for Portland. Here comes Thudium, 2-on-2. Thudium shot, gloved by Kolzig. And back behind the net goes Duval. Oops, Duval nearly lost it. Now Kolzig will play it out of the slot again. Out to Dirksen. Dirksen fires it off the boards for Robertson. Robertson back to the blue line. Backhand shot taken by Portland. Redirected in front of the net, and Kolzig launches himself at the puck. It was played off a high stick. Terry Black got his stick up in the air to try to redirect the puck. Kolzig is just unbelievable tonight.
He's playing phenomenal goal tonight, and that's very good. He's got a crew now that are giving him the stick slap. Everybody's going down and handing him a piece of wood, which in hockey is about the best thing, is a high five.
Trans Sandwith and Rob Kraus, the defense pair. It is Barnes with Kennedy and Lebrun. See if the American fans here can count to 10 maybe tonight. 8:29 to play. Barnes against Hamish Black. Hamish Black wins the draw. It comes back to Jorgenson. Jorgenson, cross ice left by a 4. Bayafor with it, starts down low, tried to center. Lebrun there to steal it. Lebrun to Kennedy, and the Americans on the attack. Kennedy across the blue line, drops it for Lebrun. Lebrun feeds it out right to Sandwith. Sandwith in the slot, gets it down low. TK to Barnes right of the net, tries to stuff it in, it won't go. And the puck's tied up there as Defoe nails it to the side of the net.
Kirk, did you notice the Americans right there? They were constantly doing one thing. They had one goal on their mind, and that was go to the net. Every single player right there was heading towards the goal with crisp passes and good skating.
Well, you can do that when you have a goalie that's playing as well as Kolzig. You don't have to worry about leaving two guys back there to protect him.
That's right.
7-2, the Americans leading the division-leading Portland Winterhawks. Barnes against Clouston. Barnes losing the draw that time to Moore as Clouston holds him up. Here comes Moore up the left side. Moore's drive. Kolzig takes it on the pads. Rebound comes out to Kraus. Kraus fires it off the boards. Back to neutral ice. Barnes skates right by his man. Barnes and Lebrun. Lebrun breakaway. Lebrun scores! Sean Lebrun! And that's the hat trick for the Brunner.
There comes the Hats onto the ice. And Sean Lebrun picks up his second WHL career hat trick. Sean Lebrun from a beautiful pass from Stu Barnes and catches Byron Defoe on the stick side, hit the elevator button, and it went upstairs. The Americans now lead Portland 8-2.
And it comes at 12-12 of the period. They're out there picking up. Hats are still sailing out there. That's only Sean Lebrun's second hat trick of his career. And I'll tell you what, he had Byron Defoe beaten. 7:48 to go. Suppose we'll have to talk to Sean after the game.
I think so.
I think so. And Kraus also getting an assist.
That's his sixth consecutive game with a point in it.
Delcourt against Myton on the faceoff. Myton wins it. You hear him counting. Puck loose at neutral ice. Delcourt has it. Here comes Delcourt up the right side. Taken off the puck by Jorgenson. Jorgenson and Delcourt along with Myton. Now Delcourt digs it loose. Delcourt takes it around behind the net. Looking for Sherstenka. Delcourt drops it down low now for Spenrath. Spenrath just leveled. Middlestat takes a racket. Loose in the slaughter. Shot by Jakes wide of the net. Penalty coming up as the puck goes back
against
to neutral
Portland.
ice. And it's again. Oh, another one. As Spenrath. I don't think they'll. Well, maybe they're going to call them both. Spenrath and Middlestat have been going howdy-doody here for a couple of minutes.
But I believe as well we're going to have a power play opportunity because I believe two Portland players are going to see time on the bench to our one player. And that's exactly what it is.
Well, Middlestat will go.
And Kevin Jorgenson as well.
Jorgenson not in any big hurry to get back to the penalty box, but I think, well, maybe not. Spenrath and Middlestat both go.
Portland Winterhawks, number 24, Joey Middlestat, 2 minutes for interference. For the Tri-City Americans, number 27, Greg Spenrath, 2 minutes for roughing. Time of those penalties, 12:46.
Well, they've only given
Coincidental
two.
penalties. Well, Spenrath got the roughing penalty for upending Middlestat over there.
The interference was done also down over in the corner here.
That would have been a power play had it not been for the retaliation. 8-2, Tri-City's leading the Portland Winterhawks. Both teams at full strength. Rennie drops it back to Jakes on the faceoff. Jakes fires it in left of the net. Racing it after it is Jorgenson. Jorgenson around behind the net, stolen by Nibs. Right out front. Jakes a shot! Just wide of the net. And Defoe's broken his stick. Duval with it as the Winterhawks try to get the puck back. Now it goes down low. 5-4. Stolen away. No. Myton putting a move on Sherstenka right of the net. The Americans have the Portland goalie without his stick, but they're unable to take it back to the Portland zone. Defoe standing there looking sort of forlorn behind his net. Puck comes out now to Sherstenka. He tries to chop it out to neutral ice. Can't do it. Holds up Clouston. Now Jake's there to Nibs. Nibs trying to break it out of his zone. Nibs skies it into the Portland zone. Winterhawks race back for it. 5-4 as it doesn't have enough legs to get in there for icing. Shift change, Tri-Cities. Portland with it. Robertson all over 5-4. Still no stick for Defoe. Holland with it across the blue line. Holland shot.
Hit the
Kolzig. It hit the pipe. Kolzig comes up with another save. Kolzig save. And Robertson Tries to take it away from Nick. It's centered again. Kolzig kicks it away. Kwiatkowski. Now Defoe has another stick. Here comes Robertson left. McNutt. McNutt takes a whack from Holland. Leaves it for Kwiatkowski. Splits the defenders. Tries to make a shot. It slides wide of the net. We have a whistle.
And a slashing
the call. Well, Portland has Robertson, I think, down there, and they are really working him over under the net.
Defoe's down there, wants a piece of Kwiatkowski as well.
I think they ought to let him have a piece of. Now McNutt takes another hit from Mitchell. McNutt's dropped his gloves. We got a pretty good fight going on now.
That's Robertson.
Kevin Robertson taking some hits from Mike Moore. Moore just pummeling Robertson. They had Robertson double teamed underneath in front of the net. Robertson still poking away at Moore.
Oh, and he goes down.
Robertson took Moore down, knocked him down.
Oh, and he still wants a piece of him.
Robertson is really hot. Now Robertson shakes off the linesman and he gets a great hand from the Americans crowd here. Robertson really got worked over by Moore. Robertson goes to the box.
But I'll tell you right now, Robertson threw a beautiful punch and connected with Mike Moore, and Mike Moore went down to the ground, and they're going to escort both players off the ice and give them the showers early.
Well, they'll get, both of them will get 10-minute misconduct for the fight, which will take them off the ice. Also coming, well, no.
There's 5 minutes and 50 seconds left. That's a 5-minute fighting. There's 50 seconds they can be allowed to play. But Robertson went ahead and went down into the locker room. And Watson is trying to tell him that they do have 50 seconds remaining.
Yeah. Well, let's see what we got here. Well, they figured it out. Let's take time out on this Tri-Cities Radio Americans hockey broadcast.
Ruff's Giant Burgers.
Ruff's is not your ordinary fast food restaurant. As a matter of fact, nothing about Ruff's is ordinary.
Have a giant burger tonight.
100% all ground beef from the leanest choice cuts. Stacked with the highest quality mayonnaise, relish, pickles, onions, 3 slices of tomato. Topped with a 5.5-inch sesame seed bun. The biggest, the best, the Ruff Giant Burger.
Ruff's now at 2 locations on Clearwater and Kennewick and 1504 West Lewis and Pasco.
Well, honestly, I still don't know what all they're going to call on whom. Holland is in the penalty box. I think he was the mad slasher down there. Spenraff's in the box, but that's left over from earlier. Scherstenk that's McNutt.
Yeah.
Where'd that come from? That's new, isn't it? No. Yeah, I don't have McNutt written down. McNutt's new.
He was down there
throwing punches.
Yeah, he was playing around. And Kevin Robertson standing over by the entrance to the dressing room, down to the tunnel there.
Sort of watching on. And I thought they were both going to get 10-minute misconduct. Maybe they will.
Maybe they will now, since it is getting kind of crowded in the penalty box. You might as well send them off to the showers early, huh?
Mick's over there talking with Mick and Lebrun over there, sort of doing a little legal work with the referee. Lebrun apparently has lost or somebody lost a little part of his gear, and or that may be a mouthpiece, I'm not sure. And we should get the announcement here in just a minute as referee Watson reading from that long pink note card there. He's been busy with pen and pencil tonight.
Yeah, he's been taking some notes on exactly what's been going on. A lot of shoving down there around Defoe, and you got to see some frustration levels. Probably, I would imagine, knowing the way that Olaf Kolzig does a lot of it of that screaming and yelling down there, I'm sure Defoe was, well, how do you say, instigator?
Well, I would guess that Defoe was a good part of the problem down there. Now Kutowitz comes over. Kelly Kutowitz wearing the assistant captain's A along with Sean Lebrun. He's been a real leader on this team. And
yes.
Now Lebrun and Mick were over there having just actually it looked like a fairly friendly discussion as Watson comes out to explain the whole thing to Mick. Now Lebrun will come over to hear the rest of it. Sean Lebrun's a fairly decent courtside lawyer.
Oh, he certainly is. We've seen him talk some pretty good ones there a few games back. Heck, he's right there in the middle of all of them. And that's a team player as well. He's there, you know, not only for John Oliver and Jerry Johansson, the 2 coaches, but he's there as well to represent the players, knowing that there's a guy out there that'll go to bat for him when they need it.
Well, let's see if we can get the Tom Lathan's phone's been ringing, so let's see if now we can get the call. And while we're waiting for the call, let's take time out on this Tri-Cities Radio Americans hockey broadcast.
Perfect 10, the official hairstylist of the Tri-City Americans. Perfect 10 features a full-service hair and nail care salon, carrying professional products for all your hair care needs. Perfect 10 also uses advanced techniques in perm, cut, color, and foil lightening. Perfect 10 is open Monday through Friday, 9 a.m. to 8 p.m., Saturdays 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. Perfect hair, perfect nails, a perfect you at Perfect 10.
Well, we've still not had the explanation of all the penalties. Maybe Tony can get that, and we'll get the action back underway. Dirksen dropping it back to neutral ice. And we have an offside against the Winterhawks.
Here are your penalties.
Now here they are.
Exchange, first of all, for the Portland Winterhawks, number 5, Mike Moore, 2 minutes for roughing plus 5 minutes for fighting. Number 15, Dennis Holland, 2 minutes for slashing. And number 1, Eric Badsgon, 2 minutes for roughing. For the Tri-City Americans, number 24, Darren Kwiatkowski, 2 minutes for roughing. Number 20, Kevin Robertson, 2 minutes for roughing plus 5 minutes for fighting. Number 15, Steve McNutt, a 10-minute misconduct, and a bench minor on the Tri-Cities being served by number 15, Steve McNutt. All those penalties at 14-10.
Well, and while that announcement being made, Kolzig made a big save, and the Americans have the puck down in the Portland zone. Explain to me how they got Eric Badsgon for a penalty. Figure that one out.
Well,
he hasn't been anywhere near the ice tonight. Another shot taken from the point by Dirksen, blocked or goes wide of the net. Puck's loose along the left wing. Now here comes Portland with it. Biofor brings it out. 4:53 to go in the hockey game. They drop it back to Leahy. Stolen by Nibs and a whistle.
Another penalty coming up. And I believe it's going against Murray DeVal of the Tri-City Americans. And it was for cross-checking, I believe, was the initial call. That's what it is, a cross-check.
Against Duval. That one comes at the 15-13 mark. I would say the boys are getting a little fractious here, wouldn't you?
And we've got 3 players for the Americans finding bench time. Kwiatkowski, Steve Jakes, and Murray DeVal, and it is going to be a 5-on-3 opportunity for the Portland Winterhawks with 4:47 remaining.
No, it's going to be 5-on-4. Delcourt comes on.
Oh, there we go. There's 3 people in the...
Jakes is serving the minor, I think. Kwiatkowski got one of his own.
Holy cow.
Duval, the newcomer, in there. Only one Portland guy in there. That's Holland. He's the only one that can come back.
Here are your penalties for Tri-Cities. Number 4, Steve Jakes, 2 minutes for roughing. For the Tri-Cities, number 11, Murray DeVal, 2 minutes for cross-checking at 15-13.
Take that back. You're right, Tony. 5-on-3 it is. Portland will have their 10th power play of the night. This one a 5-on-3. Winterhawks with it. 2 minutes of 5-on-3. Portland, left side they go. Mitchell slides it left to Myton. Back to Mitchell. Right side they go now to Fleetwood. In the slot, knocked away from Fleetwood by Kraus. Down low to Leahy. Leahy in the right corner now. Greg Leahy with the puck. Tries to get up to Fleetwood. Kraus takes it away. They shoot it back to neutral ice. Shot back into the Portland zone. Scherstenka races after it, taken away by Myton. In the slot, a shot taken by Fleetwood. Wide of the net. Now Clouston tries to bring it up. Clouston tried to center to Myton. Myton with it, back up front, Fleetwood. Fleetwood a drive, Kolzig stoned it. Another shot by Myton. Blocked up front, goes into the corner left. Leahy with it. Leahy with the puck for the Winterhawks. Drops it back down to Mitchell. Mitchell a drive. Kolzig blocked it again. And great defensive play by the Americans. Holy cow, what a save by Kolzig as Mitchell brings it up. Mitchell to the right side, finds Leahy down low. 5-on-3 Portland. Myton can't get a shot as Kotowitz cuts him off. They lose it back to neutral ice. Rennie with it. Rennie for the Americans. Taken off his stick by Myton. Myton at the blue line. Slides a pass left to Clouston. Clouston drop back pass Leahy. Leahy a drive. Blocked up front. Goes wide of the net and shot back out by the Americans into the Portland zone. 30 seconds remaining. A quick pass from Defoe. Right to Faceoff. And it's slapped away. Now right of the net. A shot blocked by Kolzig. Down low it is as Leahy tied up, gets it off his stick to Hamish Black. Up front, Fleetwood a drive. Kolzig makes the save, and it's shot out of there by the Americans. Dirksen racing after the puck. Here comes Spinrath. 5 seconds left in the penalties. Spinrath walks in on Defoe, shoots! Blocked by Defoe.
Penalties are over.
Penalties over. Great penalty killing by the Americans. Puck stolen away. Spinrath ties up with Faceoff. Shot in by, or Jake ties up with Hamish Black. Hamish Black grabbed hold of Jake's stick and wouldn't let go. We have a slashing call against somebody, against Hamish Black.
And it's a power play opportunity for the Tri-City Americans.
James Hamish Black going to the penalty box. Boy, the Americans have just done it to the Winterhawks tonight.
Completely shut them down.
That penalty comes at the 17:25 mark. Americans leading 8-2 over the Winterhawks. Power play, the first one of the period for Tri-Cities. Their 6th of the night. Portland's had 10 power plays tonight. 2 minutes for slashing against Hamish Black. Face-off right of the Portland net. It'll be Barnes with Fry and Kennedy. Lebrun and Jakes at the blue line. Face-off, top of the right circle. Barnes against Jason Hicks. Puck is down. Barnes shoots it into the corner. Portland there to whip it back into neutral ice. Kolzig comes out. Plays the pass to Fry. Fry, headman to Barnes. Barnes overskates it. Fry tries to get it back. Portland backboard. Barnes kicking it loose. Barnes chases in. He's taken down from behind. Portland with it in the left corner. Back up to the blue line. Jake's there to play it back down low. Defoe comes out, whips it back around the boards, but Jake's there to stop it again. Goes left to Lebrun. Lebrun with it, steps around his right man. Lebrun slices it into Fry. Fry tries to drive it in, it won't go. Barnes with it behind the net, looking for TK. Barnes losing the puck there to Mitchell. Now they shoot it out right of the net. Fry tries to jam it in around Defoe. Won't go. Taken to the boards hard is Rick Fry as they finally freeze it right of the Portland net. Well, Defoe's had to make some big saves, but I'll tell you what, first, second, and third star of this game goes to that guy down there.
And he's wearing a 3 twice. That's double threes, 33, Olaf Kolzig.
What a job.
And there's some real tangling going on down there.
Jorgenson and Rick Fry. Oh, my.
Boy, I tell you right now,
Jorgenson slammed Fry against the boards.
And they're going to send these boys into the shower. There's not going to be any doubt about that.
Jorgenson and Fry.
You know, Kirk, Portland Winterhawks are one of the least penalized teams in the entire league. Yet when they come to the Coliseum,
gets goofy, doesn't it?
It really does. They end up with more penalties than they probably get in 2 or 3 combined games out there anyplace else.
Well, we get the penalty calls in a minute. Tri-City's still on the power play. Spinrath, Rennie, and Delcourt with Kutowitz and Duval now.
For the Portland Winterhawks, number 21, Kevin Jorgenson, 2 minutes for roughing plus a 10-minute misconduct. For the Tri-City Americans, number 8, Rick Fry, 2 minutes for roughing. Those penalties at 18-11.
Well, and both of them are essentially gone.
And we got another penalty coming up, and it's going to be against Greg Delcourt.
And Spinrath is over there having a word with somebody. Well, that'll end the power play. Americans go 2 for 6 as Delcourt will sit at the 18:24 mark.
That'll basically give Portland a 36-second or a 35-second power play at the end of the game. They'll finish the game on a power play.
Well, now referee Watson still pointing at the bench. I think he may want more than... Well, nobody's quite sure.
Well, it's a 4-on-4 situation.
I'm not sure what the penalty was.
10, Greg Delcourt, 2 minutes for roughing.
And the puck stolen away by Biafour. Biafour at center ice, a shot. Kolzig kicks it away. And Duval centers to Rennie. Duval to Rennie. Rennie left, headman to Spinrath. And it's a two-line pass. Now Duval and Holland are going to go. Boy, Holland was all over Murray Duval. Holland upended Duval and then was back in his face. Don't think we're going to get penalties out of it, but Kelly Cudowitz over talking with referee Watson.
You know who would get a good vote for one of the players of the game is number 11, Murray Duval for the Americans. He has played one heck of an all-around game. Starts him out on at right wing tonight, and then he moves back to defense. He plays all around. Murray Duval is a definite leader on that team.
Found a very versatile player, too. Minute 19 remaining, 4-on-4. Kwiatkowski winning the draw. Kiwi with it, goes left to Nibs. Nibs across the blue line, taken down by Mick. Nibs dumping it in behind the Portland net. Defoe plays it to Biafour. Biafour bring it up the right wing. Here comes Chad Biafour. Biafour with it. Skates in ahead of Kwiatkowski. Goes in the slot. Shoots. Kolzig makes the stop. 1 minute to play. Dirksen down low. Working against Holland. Holland tries to center for Mick. Mick shot blocked by Kolzig. Puck goes into the right corner. Now Kwiatkowski chases Mick off the puck. And it comes Kwiatkowski and Jakes as they dig at it. Now Jakes will go in and get the puck off the right wing. Shot a pass out left for Nibs. Stolen by Mitchell. Mitchell firing it in behind the Tri-Cities net. Goes all the way around back to neutral ice. Slides the length of the ice. Backboard is Middlestat. 30 seconds to play in the hockey game. Up the right side, Mitchell. Mitchell losing it to Calvin Nibs and a whistle. Two-line pass against the Winterhawks. Unbelievable play tonight by the Tri-City Americans. Doesn't even look like the same team we saw last week.
That sure doesn't. Matter of fact, now what that does is the Tri-City Americans will move into a tie with the Spokane Chiefs for 5th place. They'll have 43 points. This is their 20th victory of the season. Portland will drop to 31-16 with 66 points. And the Victoria Kamloops game, we are still unable to get any scores on that.
Well, we'll see if we can't get you a score here real quick. Faceoff back into the Portland zone. Comes up the left side. Middlestat fires ahead now to Hamish Black. Back into neutral ice. Sherstanka losing it there to Hamish Black once again. 12 seconds. Hamish Black. Drop back pass for Mitchell. Goes left to Middlestat. Redirects it across center ice. But Sandwith is there to break it up. 3 seconds remaining. Dirksen with the puck. Puck loose in the slot. Another save by Kolzig right at the buzzer as they got a little sloppy, and Hamish Black got away with a quick wrist shot. But Kolzig comes up big again. The Americans win it 8-2. Olaf Kolzig in goal, playing beyond belief tonight.
A very great game for Olaf Kolzig, getting hugs from all his teammates, slapped. He deserves it. Olaf Kolzig with the victory, and the Tri-City Americans notch one up, their 20th victory of the season, and move into a tie with Spokane at 43 points at 5th place.
And that wraps it up on our game broadcast. Stay tuned for the Penalty Box Show. Greg Delcourt will be in the penalty box. And the post-game show coming up on this Tri-Cities Radio Americans hockey broadcast.
Ruff's Giant Burgers.
Ruff's is not your ordinary fast food restaurant. As a matter of fact, nothing about Ruff's is ordinary.
Have a giant burger tonight.
100% all ground beef from the leanest choice cuts. Stacked with the highest quality mayonnaise, relish, pickles, onions, 3 slices of tomato. Topped with a 5.5-inch sesame seed bun. The biggest, the best, the Ruff Giant Burger.
Ruff's now at 2 locations on Clearwater and Kennewick and 1504 West Lewis and Pasco.
Get ready, Tri-Cities. It's the 2nd annual March of Dimes Gourmet Gala, Saturday, February 11th at the Hanford House. You won't want to miss this formal dining affair featuring celebrity chefs cooking in 6 designer kitchens while we all get to mingle. Last year we had Ann Jeffries, Margaret O'Brien, and June Wilkinson. And this year, have we got a surprise for you. The Gourmet Gala. Tickets available at the March of Dimes office, 943-2660, and all proceeds to fight birth defects. We'll see you there, the Gourmet Gala.
Dennis didn't really show up tonight.
The Tri-City Americans defenseman back there in the Portland end, buzzing around the net, not really worrying about it since you were going so well. That has to really be nice from the defense standpoint to have a goalie going as well as you were tonight.
Yeah, well, that was one of our plans in the dressing room on the power play, Portland's power play. We'd, they let me take the shot and clear it out, and all they do is they clear the guys out front. They let me handle the shot, and they had confidence in me, and it worked to a T.
You must have spent some time thinking about this game after you came out of the game the other night early.
Yeah, it worked against Prince Albert when Frank got pulled, so, I was kind of expecting it, and, we had to do what we had to do to win. Unfortunately, it didn't work again, but, it's good to see that Frank came in, even though he was down from the game before, and he played outstanding. I mean, the goals he let in, second shots.
Pretty easy for a goalie to kind of let down a little bit when you have a 6-2 lead or a 7-2 lead or an 8-2 lead, but you didn't. You stayed sharp and stayed in the game the whole way.
I started talking to myself in the third period. My head was kind of wandering, and I just sort of said to myself, start thinking about the game and not anything else, and that's what I have to do from now on, and it looked like it worked.
Victoria tomorrow night, that still presents some challenges. They got some guys who can score.
Yeah, we're doing pretty good against Victoria this year. We just got to learn to bear down a little more at home when they come here. I think Frank's going to play tomorrow, and which he should, because he's really played well against Victoria this year. And they're going to have a tough time beating us. I mean, Frank playing so well, and the way we play tonight, they're going to have a tough time beating us.
Olaf Kolzig, congratulations on a great game tonight. Thanks for joining us on our post-game show.
Thank you, Kurt.
And we'll be back in 1 minute on this Tri-Cities Radio Americans hockey broadcast.
At Columbia Cable, we have something for everyone.
Ruff's Giant Burgers.
Ruff's is not your ordinary fast food restaurant. As a matter of fact, nothing about Ruff's is ordinary.
Have a giant burger tonight.
100% all ground beef from the leanest choice cuts. Stacked with the highest quality mayonnaise, relish, pickles, onions, 3 slices of tomato. Topped with a 5.5-inch sesame seed bun. The biggest, the best, the Ruff Giant Burger.
Ruff's now at 2 locations on Clearwater and Kennewick and 1504 West Lewis and Pasco.
Sixers. Listen, you know what this is? Back at Tri-Cities Coliseum, I'm Kirk Williams along with Sean Lebrun, who has a handful of hats, a whole fistful of them, from his second career hat trick. That's kind of nice.
Yeah, it's very nice. This one came, I think, a lot more prettier than the first one. The first one was a couple of garbage goals and a couple lucky bounces, but this one was a lot more gratifying.
You guys came out and just hammered Portland every which way. It didn't look like they ever got into their transition game.
That was our game plan, to come out and really take it to them in the first period. And we've lost 2 straight before this game, and we had a few team meetings, and we decided, we got to take things into our own hands. We can't rely on Seattle to keep losing, because they haven't been, and the further we fall behind, the harder it is going to make it up. So we came out tonight, and I think we played well.
Certainly looked like a different team. It looked like I think probably unusually strong in the first few minutes of the game. I think you really set Portland back on their heels.
Yeah, we were pretty fired up in the dressing room. I think it was probably the most fired up we've been in the dressing room. We came out storming, and when you get that feeling in the dressing room before the game, you come out and it's like the other team can just sense that you're all fired up, and automatically they just go into a shell, and it makes the game that much easier.
And it had to feel pretty good for you to have a goalie playing the way Kolzig was tonight.
What can you say about Ole? He's been playing incredible, and it makes things that much easier for us, because maybe we don't have to be back that much sooner if you had a real sieve in the net. When you got Ole back there, it's just dynamite. It's like having 3 defensemen. He not only can stop the puck, but he plays it very well too.
Well, he comes out and started a couple of what could have been very nice, clean breakaways. I thought maybe he was going to get assist on at one point.
Yeah, he's got a real cannon there. He can play the puck just about as well as some of our defensemen. So anytime you have a goalie that can play the puck that well, it's a real bonus.
You seem to be settling in on the blue line, too, in the power play unit. Is that starting to feel pretty comfortable to you?
Oh, it feels really comfortable now. Last year I played defense for almost a month, just strictly defense. I was back on defense, and you learn a lot from playing back there. You see the game from a different view, and you realize what it's like for the defenseman, how it is if you don't hold your man up or whatever. But being back on the point, it gives you a new outlook on the game, and it's tough to learn, but once you get there, it's a pretty easy position to play.
We have to learn to skate backwards pretty well, among other things.
Yeah, that's something you don't do as a forward, to skate backwards. So yeah, just try not to look too foolish tripping over the blue lines or the red lines.
Sean Lebrun, congratulations on your second career hat trick. Great game tonight. Look forward to taking that enthusiasm and that get on a little roll for Victoria.
Oh yeah, no doubt.
Sean Lebrun, and we'll be back on our Tri-City Americans post-game show in 1 minute.
Perfect 10, the official hairstylist of the Tri-City Americans. Perfect 10 features a full-service hair and nail care salon, carrying professional products for all your hair care needs. Perfect 10 also uses advanced techniques in perm, cut, color, and foil lightening. Perfect 10 is open Monday through Friday, 9 a.m. to 8 p.m., Saturdays 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. Perfect hair, perfect nails, a perfect you at Perfect 10.
Up, way up. That's what's been happening to cable viewership. At the same time, guess what's happened to network viewership? And the majority of those lost network ratings have gone directly to cable. Over 120 million viewers have found cable, and there's a simple way for advertisers to find them. Plug into the power of cable. America is cable ready.
It's here, now, in the Air Force. Aim high, Air Force.
Well, that wraps it up. The Tri-City Americans, a very satisfying 8-2 victory over the Portland Winterhawks tonight at Tri-City's Coliseum. On to Victoria. On the morrow, the Americans will take on the high-flying Victoria Cougars. I'm Kirk Williamson. Thanks for listening to this Tri-Cities Radio Americans hockey broadcast.